all things are new today. Like it's like a brand new season has started, and I feel like the whatever's happened in the past with the picks doesn't matter. I just feel energized. I feel so excited. Like my team is going to win the Super Bowl. That's how I feel right now.
Mayo experience.
Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Mayo experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience presented by Underdog. Code Mayo at Underdog right now. Get your deposit bonus of up to $1,000 plus. All the boosts, all the tokens, all the giveaways that you can do by getting in. So use code Mayo right now. Smash like, sub to the channel where you're here because this is the Week 6 Spread Pick Show. The Survivor Pool is over with Tim and Geoff both going down last week. It is now a double entry, double loss for us on the season. Let's throw that to the side. The Super Lock's going well, the free money not so well, and a mini Cust Corner halfway through the show. So please smash like while you're here. But I know, Geoff, why the people are here this week, don't you?
The audience is excited. It's a big day, and it happened right on time for us.
I'm excited about it as well. So let's just cut right through it. Get to it. You're fired, is what Woody Johnson said to Robert Saleh. Isn't that right? Tim Undercust?
Tim and Cust.
He sure did. Not my name, by the way.
You sound excited.
Why wouldn't I be? I have an owner and a management staff that actually still believes in my season and actually still believes in my team and is willing to make moves commensurate with the sort of things you have to do if you don't, you want to win a you want to win a championship.
Did you drop your microphone there? Is that what happened?
Yeah, sorry.
You got too excited. Too excited?
Look, I should be excited. And it's nothing against Saleh. I should start by saying, like, he is a great defensive coach and called good defense the whole time he was in New York. But the problem was that the team wasn't responding. He didn't seem to have any grasp of the offensive side of the responsibilities that belong to a head coach. The people he hired haven't been doing a great job. He and the star don't seem to be getting along great. And we're 2-3. The season is far from over. You have big games ahead of you. Like, this is the type of move you make when you're still conscious of the fact that everything isn't still in front of you, and you need to make some changes before it's too late. Like, we never fire coaches mid-season. This is not something the Jets do. So the fact that they did it, because this is probably their best chance to win a Super Bowl in 35 years, indicates just how serious everybody is about winning and how losing to the Broncos and to the Vikings the way we did the last 2 weeks isn't acceptable for a team when you're more talented than the Broncos and you're more talented than the Vikings and you lose both of those games. That is not acceptable behavior. Something had to happen. And so unfortunately for Saleh, it had to be him.
Geoff, did you empathize with Robert Saleh when security had to escort him out of the building?
I've never been escorted out of any building.
Just out of a Harvey's.
Nope, not really. I was at the door anyway. Had the respect. I'm not going in there to begin with.
When you said you had the respect not to go in there to begin with, when they said, "Sir, you can't come in here," that was your cue not to go in?
Listen, it was like the first day of masks.
Geoff wouldn't wear one.
No, I didn't have one. They didn't have them yet. They were having a promotion on burgers, and I knew exactly what it cost because, I frequent the place, and I was given more. I just said, here, take my money and just bring it to me outside. I like it plain, like, whatever. Why are we doing this? Shout out to my friends, though, on that note, my Rumble constituents out in Florida. I think they're in for a slobber knocking. So much love and shout out to all of them. But Saleh, I do sympathize with him because I agree with Tim in the sense that it does show, like, I still think they're going to trade for Adams. Like, their intent to go all in hasn't diminished here. And this is a team and an owner who's like desperate, and this is just the lever that he's going to try to pull. I sympathize for Saleh because he came in at the tail end of them still wanting to give Zach Wilson a try, and then was pretty much castrated once they got Aaron Rodgers, because Tim's like, the people Saleh hired failed, but who did Saleh hire? Did he hire Hackett? I don't believe he had a choice in it. When he wanted to fire Hackett, I don't think he had the authority to do it. So I do sympathize with him because his defense remained great. Like, Brandon Staley was a defensive guy. The defense went to shit. So the thing the guy was good at always remained good. But the owner's just trying to pull a lever. I don't think the season is done. I think a lot of mediocre teams will be competing for those final playoff spots in the AFC, and the Jets, well, they're probably not the team I thought they were. I think they're still one of those teams.
Yeah.
Saleh was great versus Josh Allen, though. I don't think there was a coach in the league, and this is my perception, but that really seemed to be able to bottle Allen up in a way that Saleh was. So the timing is a little strange, but and the stories coming out of New York are a little strange. And Saleh fed into the media too much, and the attention whore quarterback. It just seemed like, in hindsight, like it was just a horrible potpourri of everything. And this is inevitable.
Maybe don't go to the mic and complain about your superstar quarterback's cadence.
They have a they have a superstar quarterback? Who is it?
I mean, he's no longer the superstar talent, but he's still a superstar in terms of fame and in terms of being like the most important player on the franchise. Like, you don't get to do that. I mean, I was reading rumors that he was on his way to basically fire Hackett here in the near future. They got him before he got Hackett, because I'm sure that would have upset Aaron if Aaron didn't sign off on it. Like, you can say this is mismanagement, you can say this is dumb, but the thing of it is that is, like, as Geoff mentioned, this is the lever you pull when you're trying to do everything you can to save what is an opportunity that once it's gone, you're going to have trouble getting this team back to a highly competitive level in the next couple of years after Rodgers leaves. It's just, you've really sold everything right now to win, and you're still 2-3. If you win this week, you're first place in the division. Like, everything's still in front of you. You still have tough games left. You just have to go all in. But
part of my ignorance, why would they be in, like, hypothetically, Rodgers' contract is not up after this year?
They gave away a second round draft pick for Rodgers. They're going to give away
that's a draft pick.
Another draft pick for Adams. They've given away, how much opportunity to develop rookies so that some
but
people
if Rodgers
like
is
Lazard
done,
and others
that's a
can
lot
play.
of money. Like, and the roster's still talented, and we're seeing a lot of teams get by with retread or mid quarterbacks.
Like, they're not going to draft any quarterbacks at all while he's there. I just, like, he'll set you back a year or two. And, like, to be able to compete to win a Super Bowl, you have to have a top tier quarterback, and they're not going to have one once he walks out the door for a while. So this is it. Like, this is your moment. So what made me very excited was that this team didn't wait too long to make the decision. They didn't wait till the Titanic was 3/4 underwater before they made a decision. They said, okay, the iceberg is ahead, and they turned to try to avoid it.
The kicker missed 2 goddamn kicks in 2 minutes versus Denver. He doesn't lose his job. The superstar quarterback doesn't throw 3 interceptions, miss wide open Garrett Wilson on the chance to win the game late.
Look,
the coach isn't fired. It does seem very, like, flimsy. You can't deny that.
Like, it's not like Saleh came into the year with a sterling reputation of having done a fantastic job managing this team. Like, he didn't do a great job. He completely flubbed the whole what to do with Zach Wilson last year. His performance last year was dreadful as a head coach. So the fact that the fact that he got fired early in the year really, I guess, shouldn't have been a shock. I didn't think it was going to happen this week. I thought if they got pasted by Buffalo, then he might be shown the door. But better to do it before you lose to Buffalo. Better to do it now when you have the most important game of your season so far in front of you. And this is an opportunity to show the franchise that there is some accountability, and also to try to inject a spark. The Jets are going to win by 20 or lose by 20 on Monday night. And I don't know which one it'll be, because this could also go really badly. Like, there's no guarantee that this is going to work.
I want to throw out some of these scenarios that have been presented about what actually happened. Woody Johnson said that he spoke to Aaron Rodgers on Monday evening, and then he fired Saleh, obviously, on Tuesday morning. But he said that he did not talk to Aaron Rodgers about firing Saleh. Do you believe that?
I do believe that. I believe he asked.
That's horse hockey.
No, I believe that. I believe that, like, the actual question was not asked. do you think I should fire Saleh? Would you like me to fire? Like, I'm sure it was.
Did
It
they
was
talk
far
about
more.
the coach?
Perhaps they had some, and maybe Aaron gave his unvarnished opinions about the way the coaching has been working, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't believe that they actually discussed the firing of the coach. I believe they had conversations about a subject that may have broached to the coaching staff, which, you could interpret
Come
as
on.
that, but I refuse to believe that the actual smoking gun is there to say, oh, Aaron told him to fire Saleh. I don't believe
No.
that.
But Aaron, like, he was asked about the coach. He was asked about the locker room. Aaron gave an unvarnished opinion of it. He didn't say fire the fucker tomorrow.
But his opinion should predominate. He calls the shots.
Would you take this? Would you take it all back? Like, to have the pick back, to
No.
have the same roster, to let Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas go find
No.
the 16th best option in football that we've seen like year in, year out, be it Geno or Baker. You always talk about teams can go worst to first. We're kind of like on a yearly basis seeing a guy
But
become
those
like,
teams don't win the Super Bowl, Jeff.
Well,
We are tired of not winning championships.
you haven't won a playoff game.
But I know, and this
You haven't made the playoffs. A team with an
I
interim
know,
head
and
coach.
this is New York.
A
This is New
team
York.
a team that has changed a head coach in NFL history has never won the Super Bowl that season.
You
Not
don't think
yet.
Aaron Rodgers is like replacement level talent at this? Like
No, I
you
don't.
He
I
is.
don't believe that. If I believed that, then I would agree to Jeff's premise. Do you wish that you could? I don't actually. I'm
you
still
think it's
willing
that
to believe.
hard to replace the current week
Yes.
in, week out game of Aaron Rodgers to your win probability?
I believe he is
That-
still the only option available the Jets have that gives them a chance
in
to
this
win the Super Bowl.
moment, but you don't believe like the win probability skill set, right? Like the win
No.
over war of Aaron Rodgers, is that replaceable today?
No, not right
Like,
now.
in
There's
an
no
off-
one else
with an off season. I mean,
in an off season. I mean, probably not, but like that doesn't matter now. What matters is the here and now of what we've got, which is that he is by far the best option we have, and the only option that we have, and we are dedicated to the proposition of making it work, whatever the cost is. And if Robert Saleh is
respect
that
that a
cost,
bit.
then he has to go.
I respect that aspect of it. Like,
This is New York City. We expect to
We
see
will
the
die-
team win the Super Bowl.
we will die trying.
Yeah.
Who were they? Fit?
When you commit, you commit.
So the Jets are 50 cent, is what you're saying, Jeff?
Yeah, like they're not going to hit the cash out button for like a 20% return. Even mean like trade return. They're just gonna, they're gonna 50 cent this sucker.
Yeah,
they're gonna die trying. And I believe, to like what Tim's alluded to, they're still like fully on board with getting Adams, saving this sucker, and making the playoffs and upsetting somebody.
Well,
I don't doubt that for a second.
Is Adams really going to change anything? I've already been told they have 2 top 10 receivers in the NFL on their team.
might not.
And
He might not,
and
but if he
Pro
makes
Bowler
Aaron
Alan
happy.
Lazard. Like,
No,
they're,
but if he
what's
makes
probably
Aaron
what's,
happy, then
what's
it's
probably going to
embarrassed
happen
football.
is Randall Cobb is going to get interjected back into this. That's what's going to
Are you-
happen because Rodgers is running the show.
Then let him run the show. This is when you buy this ticket, you accept that this is the ride you have to be on.
Sources.
You know,
Former Jets head coach Robert Saleh was never going to fire offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. That was not happening. However, he was going to demote his game day responsibilities this week. Saleh made a decision to give play calling duties to Todd Downing because of the continued issues on offense. It sounds like that happened. Hackett told Rodgers got Saleh fired.
You don't know that. I don't believe that happened.
They don't. And Garrett Wilson called them out. Like, he called like the offense like a basic bitch. Like, they don't do anything. You watch the Chiefs play, and like guys are moving. You're
Yeah.
seeing different things. It seems like Nate Hackett runs like the Madden playbook, like that I could draw up
Yeah.
right now. Like
A
the
lot of
6
slants.
plays
Yep.
I remember from college running 190 times a day. Like
I don't know if Hackett ever advanced past the NFL blitz, and he's just running da bomb every single time with those slants. It's just not working out. Tim, do you believe that Saleh was fired because of the London game? Woody Johnson had all of his crony British pals there, got super embarrassed about the game,
Yes.
and then fired Saleh.
No, I don't believe
That sounds
I-
incredibly realistic to me.
I had read stories somebody wrote that after the Denver game, people were just apoplectic, and essentially the London game was like a 1-game trial for his job, and he failed at it because the Denver game is the real inexcusable one. They should beat Denver by 30 points. There's no reason they should ever lose that game.
who do you play after the Bills?
We play the Steelers on a Sunday night.
So I guess you could. I mean, today is Tuesday, and there are some. So I don't know if Pat had like story number 6, or he just wouldn't want to get to it. But there are some stories that, like, I don't know. There was some October 7th symbolism that they didn't want to fire him specifically yesterday because it's weird to fire a head coach on a Tuesday.
I thought that that whole story about Saleh wearing the Lebanese patch on his arm and then people calling him like Hezbollah guy was really gross.
Yeah,
Of course,
someone
that's gross. I believe that's just his ancestry.
I totally agree. That was
yeah, that's terrible.
That was
to say
disgusting, and even any notion towards that I found pretty objectionable
Yeah.
myself. I don't think. I mean, there is a clear enemy there. I don't associate Coach Saleh with being a member of any of that.
Of course not.
So.
I
Yeah,
wish
that
him
was-
well. Like, I wish him well. I think he's a marvelous defensive coach. But I saw nothing from him. Pat and I used to make fun every single Sunday of the ridiculous challenges that Saleh would make or wouldn't make, or what he would be doing on the sidelines. Like, he never seemed like he grasped what it was to be a head coach. It's not the first time the Jets have made this mistake of hiring somebody who is a very good coordinator, but doesn't really thrive as a head coach. We'll see what Ulbrich brings.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. Before, I guess I wouldn't even say former, but current Pat Mayo experience guest Geoff Ulrich taking over. It's pretty impressive stuff.
yes.
Who is this guy?
And
He was the nominal defensive coordinator, so one should hope he can at least continue. And I think he's going to call defensive plays. Like, he'll be able to continue
Can
what
he help the
Saleh's
running
strategy.
game?
Well, the best thing for the running game is they get to play the Buffalo Bills this weekend.
You better chill.
If you
out
can't
there.
run, if you can't run on the Buffalo Bills, you can't run on anybody.
Woody Johnson on Hassan Reddick, who remains in a holdout. Quote, Hassan, get in your car, drive down 95 and come to the New York Jets and we can meet and give you an escort right into the building. You'll fit right in, love it here, feel welcome, and accomplish great things with us. Dude sounds real desperate, Tim.
He is. Wouldn't you be? He has staked everything on this season, and he is not willing to let this season go by the boards. And if you're going to make big changes, you do it when you're 2-3 and you still have lots of opportunities to, like, if you wait till you're 3-6, like, everything's done for. He is desperate. We are all desperate. The fans are desperate for, meaningful championship football. The players there want to win. The AFC outside of the Chiefs looks incredibly soft. Like, there's lots of opportunity here. So, like, whatever it takes, I'm glad to see this level of urgency from the ownership and from the organization. Like, that gives me life. This team isn't just going to roll. Like, so many franchises are just like, well, we'll do the best we can, and we're just working hard, and we'll follow through the process that we instituted in the preseason and in training camp, and that'll see us through. The Jets are like, no, to heck with that. Like, we will change whatever needs to be changed, because the name of the game here is hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, and nothing else will do. And if you need to fire a head coach 5 games in when you're only 2-3, go ahead. Like, I don't care what happens.
It seems like a panicky Reddit user fanboy, like, making the decision. You're 2-3.
Tim? It sounds like Tim made the decision, is what you're saying?
Now is the time to panic, when there's still something you can do about it. There's no point in panicking when there's nothing left to hope for.
But
this team can still win the Super Bowl.
The coach that you could have fired in each of the last 2 years at an appropriate time.
Yeah,
Like you're just one win away on Monday against a team that you are mocking for some reason
not
from
mocking.
being
I'm just
able to
pointing out
fix it.
I'm just pointing out their significant glaring flaws. I'm not mocking.
So
them.
what is your like what sucks for you, Tim? And you're all about like, the moment the Jets have a couple first downs in a row, you'll tell people that you're going to make the playoffs by Thanksgiving. I mean, you just fired a goddamn coach before Halloween.
Doesn't
So
yeah. I mean,
that
There's more news coming out about the Jets and their offensive futility. Did you know that in the offseason they tried to hire Arthur Smith to be a buddy for Nathaniel Hackett? And then he said no, and then took the OC job with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been a great running game coordinator. Like one thing Arthur Smith knows how to do is to diagram and diagnose good running plays.
So
he'd be very helpful.
To quote one of the Bobs from Office Space, when it pertains to Nathaniel Hackett, what would you say he does there?
I don't know. I'm not sure. He's just like someone for Aaron to blame when things go wrong.
That is exactly it. He is there to be an Aaron Rodgers scapegoat. That is it. It's the only reason he still has a job.
But then so be it. Like if that's what Aaron needs, like let him have it.
This sounds like a well-run organization, Tim. A Super Bowl winning franchise.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and these are desperate times.
Geoff,
there is no tomorrow. There's no next season.
Well, Woody Johnson says this is one of the most talented teams that has ever been assembled by the New York Jets. I feel like we had to go a different direction. He also says that this will bring, quote, new energy and, quote, positivity that will lead to more wins. It sounds like he fucking went on Etsy and bought some of fucking Aaron Rodgers' magic crystals, and this is why he's making decisions.
Vibes.
I think exactly what Woody thinks on this issue.
Of course you do.
I'm all in with this. I will defend what they're doing.
Hey, I heard Woody really wants Trump to win because he wants to double duty, he wants to be ambassador again.
I doubt he'd go back to London as the ambassador,
I don't know,
but he might very well get another ambassadorial post. I suppose it's possible.
Well, if they don't win, he's going to fucking French Guiana this time.
The thing about this also, Tim, which I'm sure you've thought about, but it's sort of like a fan who knows their team's like going to be drafting top 1, 2, or 3 by October. Your like content almost becomes like heavily draft based. Like you are going to at some point have to be enamored with like, oh, that assistant coach or this assistant coach or that retread. Like that is essentially going to take
not yet.
A big not yet, but at some point,
if this guy leads us to a Super Bowl, I think he'll have a job. And I still believe this team has every potential that it had before, and I believe that he won't do a worse job than Saleh. And I say, let's see what happens. And if he's, an excellent coach, then maybe we can win a Super Bowl.
What happened today, though, makes it almost like that great coordinator in Detroit who turned down jobs last year because he's confident enough he can like pick a nice situation. It seems like there's such a vibe around Woody that like that type of high-end assistant is going to tell the Jets to buzz off.
Well, to work for the Jets is a lot of ways in like working for the Cowboys. Like the GM is really the fellow who writes the checks and owns the team. And you know what? It's his team. He can do what he wants with it. It's his team. I respect whatever Mr. Johnson wants to do because it's his team. It's his money.
Woody Johnson's like special ed Jerry Jones is what this sounds like.
He's Jerry Jones without 3 Super Bowl rings. But maybe it'll just be a difference of 2 soon. I don't know. I like this. This shows some charisma. This shows some I think it's a calculated and educated risk. It could not work. It could be a disaster. The bottom could fall out of this thing completely. But they weren't getting anywhere rowing with one oar in a circle the way they were going. Like they were on the boat to 8-9 or 7-10 or 9-8. And that doesn't do it for us. This team, Gotham City Football, is here to win a Super Bowl. Nothing else will do.
Code Mayo at Underdog right now not only gets you that up to $1,000 deposit bonus, but Geoff, on Thursday Night Football this week, we have the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks, and there's vulture protection on running backs this week featuring both Jordan Mason and Kenneth Walker, that if Charbonnet or that other random dude on San Francisco scores a touchdown, you get your money back on it. Isn't that great?
Yuzhik?
No, yeah, well, I guess Juszczyk would be one of them, the guy who backs him up now. It's not DiMercato. That's like the fourth stringer on Arizona that I started in fantasy last year. Some other guy.
Oh, yeah, it's the guy that Kevin Burkhardt really liked to pronounce his last name.
That's helpful.
Not right? Didn't he say, oh, it's fun to pronounce that fellow's last name?
He did say that, but then I totally forgot what it was. Anyway, that guy scores a touchdown. Then you're not looking good that you win, but you're looking good that you didn't lose. Code Mayo at Underdog right now. Let's recap last week. Geoff, what were the totals? Of course you forgot to do it, didn't you?
I did really bad. No, I actually meant to do it, and I completely forgot. I even
One
saved...
week in.
No, but
you
I
didn't
even
make it 1 week.
No, but shit, I even screen saved the
If he was doing this for the New York Jets, he'd be fired by now.
I screen saved the pick sheet too, so I'd have it so I could do it for us.
That's riveting TV. That's what the podcast. That's what people want to hear.
I got it for you. I was 6-7 last week to bring my impressive.
I
total.
won like 3 games.
Yeah, you were 3-10. You're actually now behind me at 30-42 for the year. Tim is doing the best out of all of us. He went 5-8 last week. He's 32-40. Then you have the coin. Coin was 12-3 last week, 8-5, or 2 weeks ago, 8-5 last week, 41-31 for the season, opening up a 9-game lead over the next closest participant. Tim, that would be you. You're both at a Survivor. Tim, do you recall taking the Patriots in Survivor last week?
I did, and I should have won.
Maybe.
I should have won. I mean, I was going to take this. I was going to take the Seahawks otherwise, so like I would have been out anyway.
Geoff took the Seahawks, so he is out on that one.
I have
what?
I have 4 kids now, Pat.
Oh.
Yeah, I got 3 kids, and I'm supporting, I think, my bookie's kid the way this season's going. So I got 4 kids I'm supporting at the moment.
Well, if there's only one thing I can do right on the show, it's pick super locks. The Vikings came through against the Jumbo Jets in jolly old London. So I'm 4-1 with super locks. You guys both lost yours. Geoff, you're 1-3. Tim, you're 1-4. And you lost your 7-point teaser as well, bringing you to an impressive 0-5 for the year, Tim, and 27-141 lifetime on your free money picks. You got to turn that one around.
But honestly, doesn't it feel like today, like the season started fresh?
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's because of the Saleh news. It feels like to me, like all things are new today. Like it's like a brand new season has started. And I feel like whatever's happened in the past with the picks doesn't matter. I just feel energized. I feel so excited. Like my team is going to win the Super Bowl. That's how I feel right now.
Well,
maybe they won't, but I feel like today I wake up. I'm more excited today than I was for opening day. That's how excited I am now. And the fact that I get to start against Buffalo, like great, like that makes me happy too.
Well, it's so dark out, so early.
It's getting darker. We're still not where we need to be, but the calendar is working in our direction. Not yet.
Pretty early. I will actually totally agree with Tim in the sense of like fanboying for a second. I had that exact thought like yesterday walking the dog. 2-2, just had a bye week. Feels like a brand new season. Like, let's go. Kind of feels like week 1. Hinge game against the goddamn Broncos. Talk shit about Sean Payton. Bo Nix, rant, pull off 3 in a row. Whatever. My turn.
San Francisco at Seattle is on Thursday Night Football. Seattle's a 3.5-point dog at home in this game. When I did the power rankings this week with Geoff, or with Jake Geoff, I still had San Francisco at number 6. Really feel like they should be 4-1 or maybe even 5-0, and they're just not. It's not good that they keep blowing double-digit leads in the fourth quarter, but there is something to be said. They keep having these double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. Maybe they should hire Saleh.
They should hire Saleh and fire Staley. Do not think today I was not enjoying that this was leading to Brandon Staley like shrapnel. You know, Saleh was back. Their beloved Saleh is now available. Make him assistant head coach - defense.
Assistant to the regional head coach, Robert Saleh.
This is a really fascinating game. Obviously I guess they stacked these division games on the Thursday, but 2 teams coming off like on struggling. It feels like at the moment, Seattle, this will be the 3 games in 17 days.
Yeah. Monday, Sunday, Thursday for them.
And a lot of the really smart guys were on the Giants to cover on Sunday, just as like it felt like it was the sandwich game in this sort of scheduling mess. I have to pick San Francisco. Although I appreciate upchuck Geno, like always chucking Geno, the talent level and the desperation level, I feel like for the 49ers right now, feel a bit higher. So I got no actual capping ability. 49ers.
I'm going to take Seattle, Tim, and I think a lot of it boils down to what we saw on Sunday. I mean, they can't close out these leads. They just let teams linger and linger and linger. That's good for Seattle when they're getting the 3 and the hook in the spot. And I don't know I suppose I could look it up, but I don't even care to look it up. San Francisco is not going to have their kicker. They're going to have some random dude that they signed off the street, it appears, or they're going to run a guy who's injured out there. That's just going to cost them, like, let's say 4.5 points over the course of the game, whether it's a miss, whether it's an extra point miss, whatever it is. I just feel like that brings the spread back into play for them.
Maybe it does. I'm with Geoff. The Niners kind of have to win this. They lose it. They're 2.5 back in the division, and their chances of win the division start to really narrow on them. So San Francisco's got to win this game. And if we think they're the best team in the division, you had them at 6. I used to kind of think they're the best team in the division too.
I do, but
they need to show up and win. Like they're in real trouble division-wise if they lose.
Yeah, but they can win. But they can also win it. But they can win this game without covering the spread, though.
That's why I agree with you. Like the 3.5, the half point is enticing. I will take San Francisco, but it's a fair spread. Wouldn't be shocked if the game finished like 20-17 for the Niners, right? I can totally see that.
That's great. Pull
off
you get your cover,
right? Like, I can totally see that.
I think I'm 0-4 on Thursdays, or 0-5 on Thursdays so far this season. So that's not great news for me. Probably shouldn't super lock this one in, unless I just do the opposite of what I was thinking. Trying to find Seattle's rush defense. I was trying to find an underdog play for this, Geoff. Did you get the money I sent you for Juwan Johnson?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I told you I'd pay you as soon as it lost, and I guess he won. I was pretty nervous there, though, when the game got really close, because I kind of just needed the Chiefs to be up a bit so they'd throw the couple dumps. But yes, long-worded answer for yes, I did. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a good bet. Much better than my Justin Watson bet, who just got some good cardio in on Monday Night Football, just ran 51 routes with 0 targets. That's never a great thing to go with. I'm actually going to throw out an underdog play to you guys to see how you like it. We don't do lowers on this show. We're only about higher. We're about the overs and the higher lower for underdog. DK higher than 63.5 receiving yards. Jordan Mason higher than 83.5 rushing yards. Geoff, how does that sound to you?
It's talking about hires, so it's just playing along. I like it. DK, the Giants, I mean, not to make it about the Giants, but they're on my mind when thinking about that game from Sunday. Schematically, it seemed like Dable did whatever he wanted, and subsequently Daniel Jones. Like they had the the bootlegs were always called perfectly. The plays were being executed easily. And when you watch Daniel Jones play, Pat, it doesn't happen like easy. Things might happen for him, but it always looks like a slog. So maybe credit to Dable and the extra time, but I don't see any way in which like Brock Purdy's not going to do the exact same thing. And I trust the 49ers to come up with a stop.
I think that's the underrated part about San Francisco right now, that they've had so many high-profile players, Tim, offensively that have missed time. Like even when Trent Williams got banged up, left and came back, and Kittle's been out, and Debo's been out. Ayuk, no training camp, gets off to the slow start, and then McCaffrey. But then you actually switch to the other side of the ball. Like all they're really missing on offense right now is McCaffrey and a kicker on special teams. It's the defense that's really gotten shredded by injuries, and just no one really seems to take that into account yet.
That's fair, but I mean, a lot of teams have injuries. I'm not interested in making excuses for San Francisco and their injuries. They're losing games because they're doing it to themselves. The coaching's been poor, the performance has been poor, and they haven't made plays when they needed to. I'm not interested in excusing anything for the Niners. They're big underperformers, and it's their own fault.
So, Geoff, you use code Mayo right now at Underdog, and then you go higher than 63.5 on DK Metcalf and higher than Jordan Mason 83.5 rushing yards. Win 3 times your money. Easy game.
My Turpin call was right.
Your Turpin call was right. It was Meany who blew it with Pickens for us.
Turpin is really good.
what did he end up with? Like
I like me.
5
I
for
like
30?
that vibe of the three of you guys in studio. Hockey season starts, I think, today. So shout out Meanie.
Yeah, go
That's
to
his bag.
go to FTN. I mean, if you really want to get in on some like winning bets, the shot props that Meanie has. I wonder if they have those on Underdog.
You're not going to get any winning bets here, that's for sure.
How
You heard our records, the ones that Geoff couldn't even be bothered to calculate. We're not doing well.
Well, someone tweeted at me just like about the Best Bet show. It's like, I can't believe that I follow the picks on the show. I think we were 7-2 on the Best Bet show this week. I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, look, where else are you going to find hard-hitting analysis? Like, give me cats.
Yeah, betting cats, your dick getting harder with the water up north. It's all there for you on the Best Bet show. Life advice comes along with the winning bets, at least for 1 week. Let's go to Monday night.
Sorry, very inside baseball. How far does Meanie live from you guys?
Like an hour and a half.
All right. Same.
Monday Night
I like
Football.
it.
Jesus fucking Christ, Geoff.
It's a great show with Chris right there. It's a good show.
Monday Night Football. Bills at Jets. Jets are 2.5-point dogs. You see Aaron Rodgers sitting sideways on that graphic. Tim, I assume you're betting on the Jets.
Yeah, I don't. Why are we doing this game second?
Who knows?
Okay. I mean, yeah, and the spread is even shorter now with the news. I mean, I like the Jets here. It's sort of an all hands on deck sort of game in New York. Sort of everything on the line. You know, the Jets the Jets are better, have a better offense, and I think a better defense. Even though they have better offensive pieces and they have better defensive pieces. Let me put it that way. Now that Saleh's gone,
I don't think that anyone's arguing that they have better defensive pieces. But to say the fact that they have a better offense, like there's one guy on the Bills who's way better than anyone on the Jets.
Well, I don't think that he's way better. I think obviously Allen's the best player of the group, but like then the Jets have like the second, third, fourth, and probably fifth best players. Well, Cook's in there too. Anyway, the Jets do have better offensive pieces taken as a whole than the Bills do. I mean, the Bills' offense consists of basically 1 to 2 guys. We'll see. I mean, we have the better coach now. I can say that too pretty confidently. He hasn't blown a whistle once. He's already better than McDermott. So we'll see. I mean, this is it. This is a hinge game. Like if we win this game, then like everything continues to get back on the track. We have the Steelers, we have the Colts, we have the Texans coming up. I feel good about those games, but we need to win this game. We need to be able to run the ball, and Buffalo is a great team to do it against. We need to be like they're not going to be able to beat us deep because they don't have the receivers that can really beat us deep. I'm not afraid of any of the guys they have in terms of their receivers beating us deep. I mean, James Cook will win them the game if they win it because Cook will have like 220, all-purpose yards or something. But the only way we're going to lose it, unless Rodgers throws the game away, and I don't think he's going to. I think he has a flair for the dramatic, and like this is his big stage, and like everything has now been set towards him, and like it's time for him to step to the center and make a big move, and I think he's going to.
Geoff, the Bills rank 7th against the run this season. The New York Jets. Let me scroll down here. 24th against the run.
Yeah, well, the one game they really struggled with it was the San Francisco game, which does cloud a lot of those defensive stats. That was
there's one game that the Bills had where Derrick Henry ran all over them. It didn't skew their stats all that much. Now did it?
The Bills just have problems all over the place. They're also spiraling, but they didn't have the foresight to fire their bad head coach. Paul would have been all smiles today if the news had been the Buffalo Bills fire Sean McDermott rather than the Jets firing Saleh.
Paul?
Yeah, go Paul.
I don't know. I think I came into the season with like a pretty level head about it. One thing that McDermott's pretty good at is creating a defense out of nothing. We're missing a whole bunch of pieces coming into it. The first 3 games of the season coming out super, super strong. I mean, they're coming back down to earth, but yeah, losing, like when I looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year, losing to Baltimore, losing to Houston, those were kind of games I circled as losses anyways. As for this game, Bills have beaten up on bad teams. The Jets are a bad team with a shit culture. Bills by 1 million.
I like it.
Well, I mean,
Bills by 1 million, Geoff.
I really do think that either Buffalo or the Jets, whoever wins, are going to win it pretty handily. I don't actually think it'll be a close game. And I can totally see the scenario where the Bills win by a bunch, but I still close my eyes and see Derrick Henry just blowing right through this Bills run defense and thinking these guys can't tackle and these guys just can't play. So we'll see. I don't think it'll be a close game. It'll be a rout in one direction or the other.
What everything Paul said about McDermott is fair and balanced, and I'm not really a hater of the guy. And big picture, he's, I guess, fine. But that sequence on the weekend might have been the dumbest thing we've seen a coach do in the league this year. It's so hard to goddamn win in that league, and the margins are so small, even for like the smartest coaches. I can't believe what McDermott did.
See,
Like,
hold on.
I'm not saying it's fireable, but it was.
Let's rewind a little bit on that, because I think we tried to legislate this on the Sunday night show, Tim, and I went back and I watched it. There was a sequence with D'Amico Ryans, the series before that, which was like even worse than what McDermott did, but they won, so no one really talks about that. But if let's say they ran the ball 3 times, Geoff, that doesn't really change anything. They had 3 timeouts.
Well, they needed one of those timeouts.
Yeah, you make them use that timeout.
Maybe they don't get maybe they don't get that field goal off. But I can understand the viewpoint of, hey, we got Josh Allen, we got the ball, let's go try to win the game. And
yeah, go. And
yeah,
I'll tell you,
but Josh Allen had just come off a concussion. Like, let's not pretend like you haven't got a quarterback who's clearly injured.
It was his ankle, please. Those smelling salts were just for fun.
Yeah, like, you don't put him in shotgun there. If you want to run something where you give, like, James Cook a screen pass or something and give him an opportunity and space to make a play, okay, that's fine to throw the ball there. But you don't put a guy in shotgun in that circumstance. It's just not thinking things through.
I watch ball with a defeated mindset. As like you've seen, as you've noted, I always think the worst. So objective one for me and my mindset there is get into a situation where they're not getting the ball back with any ability to hurt you.
But if let's say they had ran the ball 3 times and called the timeouts, by the time they got the ball back, they would have had time and kicked a field goal anyway. They would have had enough time on the clock to go up and spike it if they wanted to.
Maybe.
I guess at least you made an effort. I don't know. You're backed up so deep. I get it. Like, you got Allen. It's just go. We get half the football field. We kick a field goal. I don't know. I try to get out of that with making them use a couple of those timeouts or the timeout, and just get the hell out of there. Take it to the next stage. But I agree. What Ryans did in the lead up to that, also equally dumb. A couple, I guess, defensive head coaches going at it, which is in big picture to go back to the Jets. I still don't know how the offense got announced better today or different or improved. So I don't know how they really solved any of their goddamn problems other than the Tim and the owner claiming like vibes were the problem.
No, magic.
I think they were a big problem.
Magic crystals. That's the whole key here. And I heard that Aaron Rodgers' Achilles is 0-1 versus the Bills, despite them being 1-0 versus the Bills when he tears his Achilles.
Saleh also never liked to go for it on 4th downs and stuff like that.
Well, probably he looked at his personnel and was like, Jesus Christ, I want to punt on 2nd down.
Well, then now he can no longer he's been relieved from having to make those types of decisions.
I mean, he went for it on 4th down against the Vikings. They just got stuffed for negative yards.
Yeah, but I thought he should have gone for it at the start of the second half when they had gotten the ball and towards me. Anyway, it's I don't know. I think he's a fantastic defensive coach, and he'll do great wherever he goes as a DC. But he wasn't the right person for the moment.
Well, Geoff, is there a chance that their defense folds because of this now?
I don't know that it folds. I want to confirm with Tim, though. Is Sauce healthy?
No, so you're not going to get any real information on this.
Sauce is very good at pass interfering and holding.
I mean, Buffalo doesn't have anybody that's important enough to worry about Sauce going to take them out one-on-one.
Okay, but no, I don't think
Mac Hollins' first touchdown. Perfect.
Yeah, Mac Hollins. Can Mac Hollins catch a ball that goes off the back of his helmet like Coleman had to ball off the back of his? Honestly, Josh Allen is not scared. The Bills. Josh Allen plays the Bills worse than or the Jets worse than any team that he plays routinely.
It's true.
Yeah, so that's why I thought they should have kept Saleh for the week.
Well, they keep the defensive coordinator who's going to, I think, run essentially his stuff.
Fair.
If there's one team, the way that Tom Brady struggled against the Dolphins historically, Josh Allen struggles against the Jets. Welcome to New York.
Fuck you. To quote,
but on Monday Night Football with the big lights and Broadway, please, the man will not meet the moment.
I'll take Buffalo. How about you, Geoff?
I get it. You should take an alt line if you like Buffalo.
I'll just take Buffalo.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Tim's assessment that whichever way you feel, maybe take an alt line here. Just tempted to take the Jets. I always the new coach bump in football is hard because usually you're so far up Schitt's Creek. You rarely get it. You never get it this early in the season with a team with actual talent. But the way Tim had just spoken about it and disrespected the Bills, as if they are some also ran fucking team, I have no choice at this moment but to pick the Bills and Josh Allen, but I might actually end up betting the Jets. Who knows how I'll actually feel come Monday.
Hey, Tim.
Yes?
You sound like you're from London. Jags. Bears.
Hate these games. Can't watch them on TV.
You can watch them. You came over came over to my house and watched it on a TV.
Because you have I should be able to watch it on TV.
Well, you can. You just you pay for it already. You can use it on your TV.
I was very, very perturbed when I tried to find that game last Sunday and I couldn't find it on my television.
Just use the app.
No, because Geoff promised me this was never going to happen to me, that I would always be looked after with the various channels that we have.
I said we always had it good, and in Canada, the sports fan for the preeminent events majors or Olympics and the preeminent leagues were actually treated quite well by the fact that there's two major sports networks and they each have 6 channels. So we're kind of always taken care of and not forced to have 10 apps like our American friends. We've never been in that spot. To my recollection, Sunday morning was the first ever time that a standalone NFL game in Canada went to an app only game. It's never happened for us before. So I sympathize that for all people, it happened to Tim, and he would be like when trying to find the Apple TV game, my grandma calling me for the Blue Jays for my grandpa. And that was just, rest in peace to my grandparents, but happy I never have to do that again either.
It's a real hassle, Tim.
It is a hassle.
It was pretty easy to do. It was great because I was just able to stream it on my phone. It was perfect.
Yeah, you own the apps. You sign up for apps. It's simple. For Tim, it was oh my God. I was thinking about him. Not only the fact that he's in church, which should have given the Jets vibes, gave them none, that he was going to get out of church, know the game's going shit, and not being able to get it in his safety cocoon of cable.
He can get this on his TV very easily.
I thought Tim had DAZN. I was dumb enough to think that.
No. I have regular cable, like a regular person in my house on my television stand.
Yeah,
I have real TV in my house.
He just comes over to my house to get all the things that you actually have to pay for, Geoff.
You would get probably, if not free, close to a 50, 60, 70% rebate on TSM Plus just because of your cable subscription.
No, he can just log into it with his cable subscription. He's already paying for it.
So you're never mind.
It asks you when you sign up.
I should be able to push three numbers, on my converter and immediately go to the channel.
Converter?
That's what I should have.
I mean, I have the appropriate apps, but I'll admit, I did way too many laps around those channels before it hit me holy shit. They actually took an NFL game off regular cable.
I'm shocked they
for
haven't
us.
done this before. Like, it was nonsensical that they didn't do it before this. Like, they're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah, and you're probably right, Pat. And it probably makes sense for them not to do it for like bigger games or playoff games or some of those standalone holiday games. But they know the crack cocaine that would be like the London game for the people who like,
Bet on it.
yeah, like that. Like that's the right spot to do it.
Agreed.
If you're gonna pull the rabbit, you do it on that London game. Don't like surprise people like Thanksgiving Eve or something. Not that we have a different Thanksgiving, but
Yeah,
which is this
the
weekend.
Thanksgiving's this week.
It is.
There we are, and we're still. Believe we're still doing Sunday Night Live, to be determined. Depending on what my wife tells me here in the next 2 days, whether or not we win a turkey at bingo.
Under the I-72. I-72.
They only let the kids do it at this bingo.
I know, but like I know we talked about this before. We'll let it go. But like the thing is, I think that there's a real glamour to being the fellow who like calls the bingo numbers, who runs the place. Like that seems like a fun job. Like I know Geoff said once that like the person who runs the snack bar or drives the van calls the numbers, but like that seems like a lot of fun. At least once or twice a week, that would be fun.
If there's one,
You
if,
know
hold
what
on. If there's
to
one thing
do.
that we've learned about anything, Geoff, is that being in charge is really fun, especially at very low stake sorts of things where you do nothing but deal with old people who complain all the time. Sounds like a great time.
I'll tell you, you come through small town Ontario and stop at the bingo hall, you'd be scared straight to probably look at the dudes who run the joints. That being said, Tim, that call was smooth. That
Thank
call
you.
was clean. That call deserves to be
Thank you.
calling a match.
I'm going to take the Chicago Bears -2.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville right now, 5th worst in the league, Tim, in pressure rate. And what have we seen from King Caleb when he's not pressured? He's good.
Now, where is this game? Is this the one that's at Wembley? Because they always play one there.
I don't care.
Is that well? No, it does because they use grass there, and the turf is awful. And it wasn't like the London, like last week they played an artificial turf, and it was actually a real surface to play on.
But they figured out the Wembley. We've seen that happen. It was only like the first 2 years that was a real problem. And they just changed like the grass type that's in there.
Because I think if the footing is bad, that's definitely an advantage to the Jags. What to do here? I guess I'll take Chicago.
I mean,
Just on the hunch.
You have them going to the Super Bowl. I hope they beat the shitty Jags.
You know, if I were asked to pick an NFC Super Bowl team now, I wouldn't hate the Bears now, but I'm going to stick with them. And I'll pick them in the game. I think they should win. You know, Caleb has been getting, as we've been saying on the Sundays shows, like Caleb seems to get better every week, and it kind of isn't fair to compare him to Jaden Daniels, who's just playing at a different level. Like Caleb is developing at a perfectly respectable pace.
Looks great.
And looking like he's justifying being a high-picked quarterback. And if that progress continues, then that will pay dividends this year and for many years to come for Chicago. And I like him in this spot, and I like the Bears in this spot.
Geoff, this game is at Tottenham Hotspur Arena. I think that's what it's called. Jags.
Okay, and that's where they played last week. Great.
Yeah, Jags last in the league in defense, 5th worst in pressure rate. Just one problem about the Jags, Geoff. They're not any good.
Yeah, the Jags suck. But I believe the Bears might be like the most backside of the week this week. To Tim's point, Caleb looks great. Any of those like week 1, 2 concerns, just like he's developing fine. It's unfair what Jaden Daniels is doing and how that can like clutter what should be like a fair and balanced evaluation of Caleb. And everything seems fine. The big play always seems to be there. I'm not seeing the league clearly this year. I'm not seeing the league clearly. And I just have to, I think, pick the Jags because I think the day is going to start. A Sunday morning is going to start with one of the most heavily back sides of the day. And that side's just going to lose. And then bros just got to hit their phones and start chasing. and Vegas going to put you in a pretzel.
See, you would have said
I'm
that.
running so bad.
You would have said
I'm
that.
running
You
so
would have said
bad.
that last week with the Vikings. So the Vikings were one of the most backsides of the week, and they just crushed the Jets.
I mean, the Jets had the ball with a chance to win on the
Well, they never
25-yard line.
they
Yeah,
never
they
had
had
a
a
chance to
pick
win.
six.
They had checked down Charlie throwing picks over here.
Anyway, like,
And they were
no.
throwing pick sixes. Nope. Pat, that's fair.
And balance.
And
Now I've killed
at the
everyone in the
moment-
fair and balanced
I don't think
drinking
it's.
game.
I don't think it's fair or balanced. Actually,
It's fair
But anyway.
and because it's fair and balanced.
No, I don't think it's either.
Yeah.
I think it's revisionist.
The Vikings never. The only time the Vikings were not covering the 2.5 was like for the first 30 seconds of the game last week.
No, but like the Jets were driving at the end of the game with a chance to win.
They
Like,
never
don't
had a
tell me
chance to
there was a
win.
good chance.
I watched the game. They never had a chance. They threw it to the other team
I
too
mean,
many times.
They were on the
there was a
25-yard line
moment
with a
in that
chance to win. Of
drive.
course,
They had a
chance
nice
to win.
pace, but you know,
I mean, if Rodgers threw that ball to Lazard that he missed over his right shoulder to the inside,
Yeah,
that's
you're
the Jets win.
absolutely right, Tim. If Rodgers didn't fucking suck, they would have won the game.
If they missed
Correct.
if one pass, were different. Like
if Rodgers
please.
also didn't need to have like that hero pass on that drive, they probably whatever. Revisionist.
There's
history.
also pass interference on that last play, but
Oh,
whatever. You
stop
know,
it.
no one's allowed to. No one's allowed to give Aaron any benefits of the doubt. Of course.
Oh, I saw him when he was auditioning for Human Centipede at one point.
And like his coach was not going to the microphone and going to bat for him in the way that he should have been.
God.
So
Oh my God.
he wasn't. I don't think that Saleh was being as effusive in his praise of Aaron as as perhaps he could have been, as I would be if I were in
Tim,
his spot.
you would.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you'd be able to do the press conference with his cock in your mouth. Like it might be that tough.
All children should be so lucky to commit like a horrible crime and have their parent go to the microphone and say the things that like Tim would say. Like that's essentially what you're doing for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I want to win a Super Bowl, and I believe this is my best path to winning one.
You know what? When it comes to raising children, Tim, you can't give them a life of no consequences. You can't be one of those parents that tell them that everything's okay when they fail a test. I don't think that you can fail tests anymore in school. But if you could, be like, no, you need to work harder. Like, it's okay, Billy. It's fine. You can't read at an appropriate grade level. You're reading at a grade 1 level. You're in the 10th grade. No. That's what you're doing with Aaron Rodgers. You need to hold his feet to the fire just a little bit because he can he can do whatever he wants. He has no incentive to try to win.
The accountability will come at the end of the season.
When
games
you
are finished.
turn, like, and it could be as early as next Tuesday when he turns.
Look, we are doing everything for him. We are giving him no
when
excuses.
You turn, Tim's list of grievances is going to be Chris Jericho moves-esque long.
So
Like
what you're
he
saying
will
is
go
that
back-
he will have the list, we'll go to commercial, and he'll come back and still be reading the list?
Yeah, no, and that list, he has grievances that will probably begin starting from the day Aaron Rodgers was onboarded to the franchise. That Tim has just been like writing, keeping for his top to blow. But yeah, I'm so broken. I think this game kind of feels like a trap, and it's almost like a Cam Stewart logic of I'm like just gonna zig from my thought, thinking it's like a weird trap or something, and Vegas is gonna get people before the day even starts. That being said, next week, I don't even know the number. Super lock of the month.
Oh, against the Patriots.
Super lock of the first half of the season. It is the Jags' second leg of London versus the Patriots.
I can't wait to watch to talk yourself out of this when Drake May looks okay this week. Wow,
No,
Drake,
this
what a
was
Drake May
superstar.
gonna play?
Thing-
Okay, that's
Jeff's-
an X factor. Is Drake May playing this week?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he
has been
is.
announced as the starter. But like Jeff's
When
whole
did
thing
that
last year was
happen?
about how the Bills had the world's worst draw last year by getting Jacksonville in back-to-back weeks.
And look, the Bills not only lost the game on the score sheet, it was like a physically horrible game for them. It is maybe the worst spot on the NFL schedule to get in this current state of the NFL, to get the Jags on their second leg of England. If I'm the Patriots, I'm thankful I've drawn this game in a meaningless year, because last year wasn't meaningless for Buffalo, and they lost like Milano and other star players for the year that game. It was worse than the spot game I built it up to be. And I'm just fuck, I don't want to go against. When did this Drake May news come out? But I believe in this spot game thing too hard.
Being made to play on Monday night against your arch rival the week after London's a pretty bad, spot game too. But anyway.
Yeah, but you get to pick that. That's on
I'm
you.
not taking my buy in week 6, though, Geoff. Come on.
Teams have
most
the option.
sensible teams
when you
would
go
turn
to
down
London,
a week 6 buy.
When you go international, the league says to you, do you want your buy after?
Yes, and if
to
this
you.
game were in week 8, they would have taken the buy, but not week 5. You don't take your buy in week 6 if you don't have to. Come on.
They gave you extra rest.
They gave us an extra rest.
Hold on.
Way earlier than
the
the Bills.
Yeah, I recall very vividly Cust complaining about this with the Bills last year. That they got all that extra rest because they played in London. It was way earlier.
Yeah, but we don't get to use that rest because we fired our coach.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the time stopped, did it? Or it advanced too quickly?
People aren't able to take that extra day off or rest or relax. Like, people have to. Firing the coach changes things.
It does seem like Aaron Rodgers takes every day off.
Look, he can take 6 days off a week as long as he plays on Sunday.
Well, he is playing on Sunday. He's not playing. You said play well on Sunday. Maybe if he practiced a little harder, then all of a sudden he played better
he's
on
like
Sunday.
Adam Sandler. He's
got
just
a low ankle sprain.
Yeah, self-diagnosing. He's the fucking Rad Thibodeaux of the NFL. He's self-diagnosing himself with ankle sprains.
He knows his body well enough at this point.
Yeah, he's fucking rubbing magic crystals and shit on it. Get him to a doctor.
Man, whatever he needs to do, fine. Well, no, he doesn't need to. He can do what he wants, just as long as he shows up on Sunday or Monday and plays well. I don't care. That's fine.
He's like Netflix Adam Sandler. Like, he just got a shitload of money and he's just handing things out to his friends.
But yes, and I don't care as long as the result, and I don't think Woody cares if the result is that we get a championship out of this.
So it's Super Bowl or bust, because that's pretty fucked up.
I think it is at least getting to the Super Bowl. Like, we better at least get there. Like, we've given him everything. Adams, I'm sure within the next day or two is probably going to be a Jet, even though I don't know if we need him. And like anyone else, like we're going to provide no excuses. When this season is over, there will be no opportunity to say if only they had done X or Y. We have done everything to accommodate. It's like we put together a tasting menu for you, and we made sure that all the things that you like are on there, and we expunged all the things you might not like tomato broth or creamed corn. Gotten rid of anything you might not like. We're doing our very best to make sure he's happy, and because no one needs Aaron Rodgers unhappy.
Is Peyton Manning this big of like a prima donna in Denver?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
But like Aaron can be prickly at times when things don't go his way, and I just don't see the reason to do anything that could bring that out.
And like Peyton Manning called the plays, like who was it? It was like Mike McCoy and Adam Gase and shit. So But I'm just saying, like we've seen it before.
Yeah,
Brady in Tampa.
Are you saying that Peyton Manning was a subscriber to critical Gase theory, Geoff?
He clearly is a subscriber to that. He got Adam a few jobs.
He got him a job in New York explicitly because Peyton Manning hyped him up. We hire people all the time because somebody else.
Your owner is like a Reddit user.
Yes.
I mean,
he just wants to win, Geoff. He just wants to win. I give him that. He spends a lot of money and he wants to win championships, and he is a fan of the team that he owns. Like, we could do worse.
Well, some people on the internet are saying he gets what he deserves. Big Pharma Johnson over there.
Nah, well, his quarterback and he don't have that dilemma.
No, it's true.
Arizona and Green Bay kicks off the Sunday slate, and once again, if you use code Mayo at Underdog right now, you will unlock a free pick on Thursday Night Football to go in addition to the DK Metcalf and Jordan Mason hires that you could do. You get a Brock Purdy 0.5 higher total yards to add to it to make it 6-1. As long as you are a first-time player using code Mayo, you can do that right now at Underdog. All right, so you go do that. Support the show, support Underdog, and get that free pick with Brock Purdy. The Packers are favored by 5 in this game over Arizona. I think this is a big mismatch. Arizona sucks coming off a win, or at least they have each of the past 3 seasons, and I just think the Packers are way better than the Cardinals. So give me the Packers -5, Geoff.
Packers are great. I don't even remember who was the team that Tim was saying they're like equal to.
The Bears.
The Bears. And like they got out of Dodge against the Rams last week with Love throwing perhaps the worst pass of the week. So
He also probably threw the best pass of the week too.
That doesn't expunge the bad pass though.
He's still a baby. He hasn't even started 16 games yet.
Okay, like they're good.
That's a lie.
They're not. They're
He's
good.
just
They're
starting
not
year
great.
2.
Like they're good. They're not great.
He
they
is
have
not
their problems.
On my like development curve. He's still like he's so good, and he's still at a point where he's still experiencing some things for the first time. So I'm an apologist. He is so good. Oh my God.
Is he a better runner than Aaron Rodgers, though? Because we've established that Jalen Hurts is not, according to Tim, is Jordan Love.
Well, he's not a better runner than his opposing quarterback, and I will take his opposing quarterback.
This
And I will
is a
take the
tough
Cardinals.
Arizona, I mean, they're a tricky team because
You sound
they've
like my
actually
son.
been
They're
quite
they're very tricky. They're not
Well, they've
tricky. They're
been
just
very-
not very good.
No, but okay. My point being is they might not be very good, but it seems like they're very competitive. Outside of like a juggernaut flag football game where they got ran over by Washington that we got to watch, Kenny Kim on the couch in the corner enjoying, like the Bills and last week. They really hang in with good teams despite having a lot of flaws. So I want to give them a lot of credit for that. 5 doesn't seem like enough points for me to take, though.
They look good for 7 to 10 minute pockets in games, and their defense is simply atrocious. So
They have good wins, though. They have good wins. And it's a close matchup. It should be. I think the spread's a little high.
Well, you really don't believe in Green Bay at all, though. That's why you think.
No, it's not that I don't believe in them at all. I think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think they're like a fringe playoff contender.
So you're taking Geoff? Are you taking Green Bay?
I'm taking Arizona, but I have really uncomfortable.
Okay. So now you're zagging your picks because you're doing poorly. That's not going to work out well.
No, they've been competitive. They seem like a backdoor setup. Which is
I think they could win.
I got no real vibe to put real money. Not that those games are going my way anyway, but this is like a total blank. I think the number is right.
They also score on their first touchdown drives every week, so like that helps.
Who?
Arizona, they're
Yeah,
the best first drive team.
The
in the league,
Packers
so
are
already
also
start with
like
7
we'll take
points.
the ball and we'll score vibe also.
So what you're saying is that Arizona has better scripting than Victor Hovland?
Ooh, yeah.
Like that joke.
For almost about 2 decades, the irons were really the only good part of my golf game, unless you include 300-yard drives, which meant hitting it about 150 yards straight and 150 yards with slice into the woods to the right. So I finally went and got lessons, straightened out my swing, and all of a sudden I could drive the ball pretty decently, pretty straight. And then my irons just kind of went wayward with the new compression that I was getting onto the ball. So it was time for me to make a change with my irons. So when I heard about the new PXG Black Ops irons and how they can dramatically improve my game, I had to give them a try. Booked a fitting with the PXG location, brought in my current irons, and took the PXG challenge. The staff was amazing. We worked on my ball flight through TrackMan in order to find the perfect irons and the perfect length and the perfect loft for what my game demands these days. And the new Black Ops irons are incredibly easy to hit, they maximize performance, and they're fun. Oh, and they're only $149.99 a stick. That is a great price for a great golf iron. So take the PXG Irons Challenge. It's a ton of fun, and if PXG's new Black Ops irons don't outperform your current irons by delivering either more distance or tighter dispersion, that means better accuracy, during your fitting, you'll get a $250 MasterCards reward card. Hurry, this offer ends October 7th. Book your fitting today at pxg.com. That's pxg.com. Passion, drive, patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Supercharger, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. Browns at Eagles. Eagles favored by 8.5 against Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns coming off of a bye week. A.J. Brown is back. Devonta Smith is back. Lane Johnson is back. This offense should be back to what it was supposed to be at the beginning of the season, or at least what was promised at the beginning of the season. And I guess the big thing that I'm worried about here, Tim, is actually Philadelphia's defense. Not that it should make that big of a deal against Cleveland, but they're just not getting home at all. Your boy Bryce Huff, not so much at time.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if us having Reddick play no games or them having Huff play week after week is better or worse for whom. I'll tease the Eagles down here. Actually, because we already did the Jets game. The Jets were the first part of my teaser.
Oh.
This is the second team on a 6.5 point tease. I just don't.
Hold on a second. I got to call you out here. You said the variance in that game would be the dumbest game you could ever teaser.
Yeah, but
someone is going to.
I can't have free money for the week and not have my team in the most important games played in the last 10 years. I got to have them on there. I got to have them on there.
Can I say something? What like an actual gambler might do, who would actually make a teaser like you make, which I don't know how many people do that, but you would make the teaser, win the teaser, then tweet us out on Monday, ship it home, Ship It Nation represented, doubling down on the Jets Monday night, the teaser winnings. So I just don't understand. You said that it's a blowout game either way.
I do think it is
the dumbest game to teaser on earth.
I just feel an obligation to have my team in the most important game it's played in 10 years on the teaser. And I would feel bad if I didn't have it on.
So why don't you make it like a super max lock single play?
I may very well make it my super lock, Jeffrey, but we aren't at the super lock section.
Well, you bet.
I want to be fully invested in the game. I want it to be a part of the teaser. It'll probably be the super lock. You know, like it's the most important game that my team has played in forever. And I'm very emotionally invested in it. And I will not be a happy camper a week from today if I have to come on and talk about a loss.
I think we're 4 games in or whatever, and that the Jets have come up in every game we've discussed.
I can't help it. You talk about who's the marquee AFC franchise. Like, let there be no doubt. If the Colts fired their coach 4 games into the season or 5 games into the season, but we talk about it for 5 minutes. The Jets do it. It's the biggest story in sports. And like the baseball playoffs are going on right now and they're amazing. But no, it's Jets, because we're the most important story.
Do you think Woody did it so he can camouflage it around like Mets and Yankees in the playoffs? And like he has almost like a couple weeks to skate by because New York is distracted?
Maybe.
Are you taking Cleveland or Philadelphia in this game?
Oh, you can't take Cleveland. You can't take Cleveland. I will take Philadelphia. You just can't. Cleveland's dead. Can't take down.
Find out. Tell me they're starting Jameis, and we take Cleveland.
Okay, but that changes things.
That's what I'm saying.
That would change things. But in the current context where Stefanski says, no, we're starting Deshaun Watson, like, no, you can't take the Browns. You don't have to bet against them if you don't want to. You don't have, but you do not have to pick them.
I agree with Tim. Like, there's just no way on earth you have a team off a bye when you can't even execute a bit against the Washington defense when you're getting your ass kicked. Like, that is as big of an indictment. I mean, it's one thing to suck against key moments when other coordinators and teams have like saved their best punch maybe for you and you're kind of gutless anyway. It's a whole other thing to not even like have garbage time life versus that Commander's defense. So it's Eagles or nothing. They're asking for what, 9?
8.5.
It seems like a lot, but it might not be enough. I don't know if you bet it, but you're not betting the Browns.
I'm
You're
with
just not.
you. We'll make it a round of Philadelphia. Paul, I'm going to jump the order here because of breaking news, and I actually just made the bet as we went through it. It's going to be my super lock, and it's still hanging out there. And if you want it, Geoff, right now, Tampa at New Orleans is 2.5. Tampa's favored by 2.5 against New Orleans. I'm making Tampa Bay my super lock of the week at -2.5. I just bet it. Derek Carr is going to be out for multiple weeks, so give me
What's wrong with him? It's oblique, right?
Yeah,
Really? Multiple weeks.
multiple weeks.
Who's their
That part,
backup?
that Saints like
I watched their backup play a drive there last night. Was it Hayner is his name or
yeah, Jake Hayner, or what is it,
something
Jay?
like that? Yeah.
Now, Tampa Bay coming off extra rest. I thought they were the better team anyway, based on what I've seen lately from New Orleans. Jake Hayner is the guy. Very solid 2 of 7 against the Chiefs prevent D on Monday
Yeah,
night. So short week for the Saints, extra week, extra rest for Tampa Bay, and now a backup quarterback. Listen, the defense might get to Baker, who knows? But 2.5 right now. This is going to balloon up to 4.5. So I'm just going to super lock this in, and I just threw down $400 on the game, Geoff.
Yeah, I don't even think. I think like good thing you got it in. I think they're gone.
What do you see it at? I'd still do it at 3.
Well, I actually saw it jump to 3, and now it's 3.5, and now it jumped back to 3. So I think the 3.5, maybe folks are trying to middle it, or it got some buyback when it went to 3.5. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, give me Tampa. We're gonna play with a stale number here. The Saints. I don't know. I don't want to call them a dead fish, but we like the priors might seem like they're closer to reality than clearly it felt after they beat the shit out of Dallas. Like,
Yeah.
Don't you love the backup in the first game?
oh yeah, that's a good point. Short week though. This is a real tough one. Short week. Dennis Allen's an idiot. We don't even know. I mean, like college me would be so embarrassed to not even like know the exact name of like a second string quarterback. What's his name? Hefner?
Jake
Hayner,
Hayner?
I think.
Hayner? Hardly know her.
I looked up
That's
Jacob Hefner and I just got a bunch
Oh.
of like lawyers.
Paul, it's Jake. Yeah, it's not Jacob, it's just Jake. He played at Fresno State. Is
Just like
Cam
Derek Carr.
is as Paul just pointed out from behind the camera? Is Cam just going to call this guy Hainzer the entire week and do his Hainzer impression? Cam is going to
He's
love
definitely
this
in
guy.
on Hainzer.
He
Yeah,
kind
you
of
guys are gonna get a great Hainzer impression tomorrow, so that's always a win.
in fairness to Jake Hayner, he kind of looks like Emerson Loiza, who I used to work with at DraftKings in this profile picture. So maybe that's good vibes. I love Emerson. So then maybe this guy will be good. Who knows? But I'm just going to take Tampa at the number. Like I said, if you can still bet the 3 right now, bet it right now.
It's
Yeah, no,
available.
there are 3s. I don't know if it'll stay on 3 or settle at 3, but it's 3 -120. Paul built a board. I'll play our stale number here. Give me Tampa.
Yeah, Buccaneers as well.
What do you think this number closes at? 3.5? 4?
Yeah, 3.5 probably.
I know Tampa fans like don't even want me to say this. They want me to just be where I've been and enjoy that, but like holy shit. They're good. They're fun. They play tough. Baker is just like maybe in a couple years we're looking at him as like one of like the best resurrection stories of an entire era of ball.
More than Jesus?
And like the whole program, like I wanted them to blow the program up. And they're like, nah, we're bringing in Baker. We're keeping the veterans. Our defense is good. And I'd be like so proud of that whole operation.
You also
I give
question-
him so much credit. I give him
You-
so much credit.
You questioned that organization in the past too when they brought in a veteran long
Everyone,
quarterback.
I said it before.
I
I'm
mean,
holding
and
it
like,
culpa.
You doubted what they were trying. The Jets are
There's
trying to do
no
exactly what Tampa tried to do.
organization that I owe more, that I get wrong more than them. And like you just watch them ball and it just seems lovely. And who, like Eli Cohen or something, their offensive coordinator? getting it done.
I mean,
Good for it.
even by the numbers, the Saints rate out much better than Tampa Bay. Like DVOA would tell you that Tampa's a much worse team, that they should probably be underdogs in this game.
Curious how much.
Yeah,
of
but
that
we're a week
leans on the
away
first
from
2
not.
weeks
We're a
of-
week away from running Saints models where you take out the first 2 weeks of the
Yeah,
season.
this is
and,
it,
and
right?
then it flips. Yeah, I agree with you. It just what we've seen offensively, like they're challenged offensively at the moment, and maybe it gets better without Derek Carr. Who knows? I'm gonna find out the hard way, I think, here. If Tampa,
He has no
can't win and
ability
cover.
to just like want to get 6 yards. Like he just
No, he wants to get -6 or 400 on one throw.
that interception on the first drive of the game was like disgraceful. And Peyton Manning and that Manning cast, they do a great job in real time, and it's lovely experience to watch, and they're doing it great. I've never seen him as like disgusted. And he watches a lot of shitty interceptions. It was just so pathetic that he did that when his team had a nice scripted drive going.
Did you watch the end of the McMahon documentary?
Haven't gotten to the very end.
It's I guess if you knew nothing about it, it would probably be all right, but it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth. It just left an taste in my mouth. Like I knew all this stuff.
Yeah, I kind of felt that from like Go from the thing, but I clearly realized it wasn't for me. But also, like Bill Simmons is such like a wrestling hardo. Is
Is he really a wrestling hardo, or is he like a phony wrestling hardo?
I guess you're right. Like, there's a different level of hardos. You could have just like been a fan through like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like
It just seemed too gen pop for me. Like
I am very much not a wrestling hardo, and I already knew everything. I can't imagine what actual wrestling hardos feel about it.
Yeah, like Tim, it seemed like it was for those people who like wait in line for public washroom.
That's what I was thinking of.
Like, it
when you
just-
said that.
But like, you know, people with an inside track, like there was really not any new information. Yeah, I was trying to think of a couple things. Maybe there might have been one story or two Hogan was telling, but then you don't even know if it's true because Hogan is such like a propagandist. And that's what, you know, that's part of being a great wrestler. It's knowing how to do that too.
Houston and New England, Drake May starting, as you just found out, Geoff, for the Patriots. 7 is still the number at the moment. They're dogs at home here. It's really hard to take the Patriots against any team, Tim, at a touchdown or less when you know they can only score like 10 points. Maybe Drake May is awesome, but that is not a quality that we've seen from rookie quarterbacks so far this season, especially in their first start. Even Jaden Daniels was king checkdown in his first start. And they can't block. And they can't block. They can't block.
Yeah,
and
no,
then like
they have no offensive linemen.
like the only thing that the Texans can do on offense is get to the quarterback. That's it. Like the rest of their defense kind of reeks, but they can get to the quarterback, and that's gonna be real bad news.
This game is going to be by far the one that's like finished the fastest on Sunday. I feel like it's going to be like 4:55 our time. It's like, oh, that game has been over for 5 minutes. I'll tease the Texans down, and I will pick the Texans to win.
Why did you make it a 6.5 point teaser? I'm curious.
We'll see.
I'm trying to figure out which game.
There's another game I like.
I assume it's the Ravens, but like, what's the difference between
Yeah,
6.5
it
and
is.
6?
No, it
like
is.
you're just
It
giving
is.
up money because the other ones go through like all of the key numbers already.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the Ravens down to a pick.
Minus
What's our
0.5.
number here?
6.5 of the Patriots.
Yeah.
7.
I'm going to take the Patriots.
Okay. How come?
There's not really a case to be made other than this feels like it could be a bit of a sandwich game for the Texans. Like a big walk-off win, like a big current peer, I would say, in terms of talent level. They play the Packers next week. Like, I don't have an actual case in terms of talent. Just maybe it's a nice spot game. I'm worried for Drake May. I guess it's smart they're going to play him because if they're going to draft like first or second, then you really want to see what Drake May is before you make a decision. I'm not saying he's like Bryce Young or that bad, but you just might want like a bit more information before you potentially pass on what could be a great prospect next year, who I don't even know who that would be. I'm not a draft nerd really anymore. I could
They
take
can
a
just
couple
draft that
guesses.
running back from
Boise
Boise
State.
State, who like runs for 300
No, but
yards a
like
game.
I know, I think early in the year, a lot of like the next year's mocks had the Georgia quarterback who he doesn't look like first overall, or Dion's son, and I don't
Well,
know.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe they fire Gerard Mayo, they draft Dion's son, and bring on Dion as the head coach. That'll work.
No, see, that link, like that connecting of the dots seems very easy for the Raiders.
That's true.
Like that they'll, even if the Raiders have the 4th pick, they'll just say we're only going to the Raiders, and the league will sort of acquiesce, and the Raiders are going to get an extra second or something from Devontae, and it just, that's where it just seems like, because Dion seems like he's calling a shot here. If he, at least for the kid, if not for both of them. I guess you would. This is a smart game to probably tease. I don't see the Texans losing, but I'll take the touchdown.
I mean, the Texans, I don't think have won by this big of a margin so far this season yet, have they, Tim?
No, I believe 6 is their largest margin of victory.
And that was on
When you
Sunday.
run on first down every possession, it's like maybe hard.
They will be without Nico Collins in this game. It's looking like Joe Mixon's not going to play either. I think that he could come back this week, and I think they're just sitting him down. So you might be right. They might be overlooking the Patriots in this spot.
That might not matter, though.
The Bengals did, and they got knocked out week 1.
There you go. Although we thought that the Patriots would have a good defense, but that's proven to be not true. Like they might actually, you kind of called it, Tim. You said they'd be kind of like that Jacksonville team that won its first game, then lost 15 in a row.
But they've also gotten some horrible injuries, seems like week after week.
Who?
Their O-line is worse now than it was a month ago with faster and
But I mean, they did
scary.
slow down the greatest offensive genius you've ever heard of, Mike McDaniel's offense, only 15 points last week. So you got to give them lots of credit for that they were able to slow down, the most impressive and most advanced offense that humanity has ever seen.
I'm actually happy you brought him up. I'm going to give him a chance. I've already predetermined I'm going to give him a chance next week, in that it didn't happen quickly. Usually I like to back the coach with, the backup in that first game, and he's just been really shitty. McDaniel with a bye with a backup, I think I'm going to want to try that. Like I have enough faith in that boy genius that the bye week is going to make the backup like a thing, and they're going to be able to use Waddle and Hill out of the bye.
You don't think he's using his bye week to pick out a new pair of capri pants and which sunglasses will match best with them on the sidelines?
You're just very jealous of his style, it sounds like.
Just tired of people telling me what a great offensive coach he is. And, when he actually has to do real
So
coaching.
why did you take a shot at his clothing when it's about the coaching?
I thought we learned. I thought we learned on Sunday we don't take shots at people's appearance anymore, Tim.
I just, he wears these pants that look so dumb, and his glasses look so dumb.
I'm not going to lie to you, Tim. People have seen how you dress.
Yeah, I dress very, like golf casual.
It's beyond casual. You really take casual to a whole new level.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, you clearly don't if that's how you think you dress.
Yeah, I draft golf casual.
What's golf casual? Is that like you couldn't actually go golfing in what you're saying because it's not respectful enough? It's a casual.
Yes, I basically wear what you would wear golfing.
You wear Muni casual.
Yes.
I think there's a big difference between golf casual and Muni casual.
Fair enough.
Who do the Dolphins have coming out of the bye? Indianapolis?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to Indy then, because Indy's at Tennessee this week. Levis will be back coming off the injury. Tennessee is now a 1-point dog. It looks like Anthony Richardson will start if he is healthy enough. This we do not know yet. Obviously, I'd like them a little bit more with Joe Flacco at quarterback, but I don't know what to make of this game. It seems very obvious that the Colts should win, but it's the stupid Colts, Geoff, so I have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know that, are the Jaguars just such shit? Are the Colts just actually capable? And the books clearly respect Flacco more, or they just know what they're getting with Flacco, so they figure that's an easier game to price. when he is playing.
I'll take Indy, even with the bye week. Top 10 defense still for the Tennessee Titans right now, though.
I'm going to take the team off the bye.
I am too. I think both these teams are bad. I'll take the home team getting points coming off a bye.
All right.
Yeah, I like Brian Callahan. Levis has issues, but I think with the
No.
bye, I trust his ability to scheme and those receivers to kind of be wide open.
Washington at Baltimore, which is most definitely the main screen game. Baltimore going back to back on the main screen in the early slate. They're 6.5 points favorites. We've already heard that Tim is teasing the Ravens down to a pick'em as a part of his 6.5 point teaser, which seems, I don't know why you'd pay extra money for the extra half point when you really don't need it at all. What are you afraid they're going to like tie and you won't get a push?
It gives the Jets 8.5 as well.
Well, it gives the Jets 9. They're
Or
2
9, sorry, yeah. Even better.
Or if you just did 6, they'd have 8.5, which you thought you had anyway.
Yeah, I like the Ravens a lot here. Like, if I weren't basically pot committed to picking the Jets as my super lock, I might take the Ravens. I think the Commanders are going to be like the most popular underdog pick this week. You're like, oh my goodness, the Commanders are playing great, and Jaden Daniels is amazing. They're getting 6.5 points, and the Ravens' defense has been absolutely terrible the last couple of weeks. And I'm not blah blah blah. That's nice. I expect Lamar, who is 20-1 all time against the NFC, or 21 all time against the NFC. Yeah, no, thank you. I think Lamar is, in my opinion, so far through the first 5 weeks, he's the MVP of the league. And I expect the Ravens to win this game by at least a touchdown. So I like to lay the points here. I like Baltimore a lot in this spot. I think this is a gut check game for the Commanders, and I think they're not quite there yet.
I think Baltimore probably does win, but I think it's another Fienberg situation, Geoff, where I think it's like a 3-point game. I think that Washington's going to handle themselves offensively and just go punch for punch with this team. It'll come down to the last possession, and I'll give it to as Tim pointed out, Lamar probably is the MVP right now, and if it's not him, it's probably Jaden Daniels through the first 5 weeks. I just don't see, Baltimore's defense hasn't been good enough to believe me that they're going to slow down this offense, which has been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, well, one thing, I saw a tweet earlier today, just because Tim mentioned it, I'd like to point it out. To some surprise, this game's actually seeing 50-50 action, or pretty close to it. But you would think, just based on the number and being like flag football awesome, that Washington would take just a lot of potential public money.
I see. I don't think so. Like, as much as we want to, like, yes, Jaden Daniels has been the story so far this season, and how surprising Washington has been. But there's a lot of priors with Washington too. Like, their defense absolutely sucks. There's no way that Washington can sustain an offense that's like the 4th best of the millennium. And then you have on the other side, Tim just said it. Like, Lamar's been the MVP. People see that. And the Ravens, after starting 0-2, have just been on a run right now of beating all these teams. Even when they don't have their best stuff, they're finding ways to win these games. That you'd have to think that Lamar and Baltimore are probably a pretty public team, especially going against the NFC, which Tim also brought up. That I get why it's 50-50. I like the 6.5 on the plus side with Washington.
I'm gonna lean Baltimore. I'm not ready to, do the passing of the torch game yet, despite there being a lot of points here and room for Washington to certainly compete or even get those points late.
I don't believe in the Commanders. I still don't believe in them.
Well, that's a mistake. Like, you're a week away from saying they might win the Super Bowl.
No. I just
yeah,
don't
if they
believe
win
in
this
them.
game, what are you going to say now? You are such a.
If they win this game, that's an impressive win, and they deserve full plaudit from me for winning it. But I still don't trust them. I don't like their coach.
Would you be surprised if they won? Because I wouldn't.
Yes, I would be surprised if they won the game. Yes, I would.
I
don't think they're there yet. I don't think they're ready to take that test and pass it. Yes.
We do have a breaking news update about a quarterback situation. It seems like Spencer
Russell?
Rattler might start for the Saints now, not that other guy whose name I've already forgotten.
I don't
Rattler,
care.
South Carolina, maybe Oklahoma.
All that is will be denied of our impression on the Best Bet show.
That's true. We don't want that to happen. Maybe they can keep that out a little bit. Maybe they can push that down, kick the can down the road a little bit. Yeah. We played for Oklahoma. Is he supposed to be good?
I doubt it.
What round? He was just drafted this year.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm not surprised, like when you think about it, that
Rattler played for the
the
he was
Gamecocks.
the backup for the Falcons last year.
No, you're thinking of Desmond Ritter.
No,
Oh,
you're
yes.
thinking of Ritter. Rattler was just drafted this
Yeah,
year.
he
He was
he
a
was-
day 2 QB.
Yeah, he's a 5th round pick.
Oh, that's later than I
That's
thought.
a day 3 QB.
And he's 24 years old. So he's still older than Sam Darnold by Tim's math.
Who's the quarterback the Saints started like in a desperate spot a couple years ago that Tim said was going to be good?
Oh, the good book.
Oh yeah,
Ian Book.
Book.
He threw like 5
He played the
picks.
Dolphins. He played the Dolphins on a Monday night and played terribly.
Yeah, I'm sure him getting to play the Dolphins had nothing to do with your like pregame prognostication.
And he played for
He
Notre Dame.
played-
Don't forget that.
Yeah, he was the starting quarterback for the Irish. Yeah.
I still like the Bucks there. But I'm a bit more worried about Rattler being like okay versus that other scrub that I saw on Monday night. So Washington
the
for
worst.
go ahead.
I said the worst draw of the week is having to play like Lamar or Jaden in your home league because this could be like that Rams Chiefs Monday nighter a few years ago.
Oh,
I don't think Washington will hold up its end of the bargain.
It's possible. Or they could just go on a rampage and just keep scoring. Because Baltimore's D's been really bad.
If Washington wins this game, would Daniels be the MVP favorite? He might.
I would think so, yeah. Unless
Still probably behind Mahomes, but probably second in.
Well, that's the thing. Like the betting markets have Mahomes at number 1 right now by a pretty substantial margin. But just to watch the games, like I guess if they go undefeated, you're going to give it to Mahomes. But he clearly hasn't had his best stuff. Maybe he hasn't. It's just like he hasn't needed to have his best stuff.
No, he's plus 330 right now with Allen and Jackson at plus 600. And Stroud at 750, Daniels at plus 1,000.
So what's Love?
Love
missed 2
is
games already.
yeah. Love is I don't know where Love is.
Love's
He's
probably
way
behind
down.
Darnold.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that brings us.
Love is sorry. I'll tell you what he's at.
It's okay. Don't worry.
4,000 plus 4,000.
So 40-1.
Yeah.
Brings us to the midway point of the show, which means it's time for a mini version of Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner,
I think I deserve a lot of credit
God.
for being a week into this season, the happiest season of the year for a lot of people, and abstaining completely from playing. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. I don't even have to mention the game to know for people to know what I'm talking about. I've gone an entire week, and I'd like to know where my credit is.
Well, people are just calling you a fucking quitter.
This is what thank you. This is what I'm talking about. I think I deserve some credit.
What do you deserve credit for? Not eating gross food all the time?
It's not that I'm not eating food. It's just that I'm not eating there.
Yeah,
You said that you couldn't go through the McDonald's drive-thru to get coffee because it would entice you to buy other things on the menu.
Yes, it would.
That's
Plus,
insane.
I'd have the stickers.
You
and I'd
went
want
to
put them in
Dairy
the
Queen
app.
today and got ice cream and chicken tenders.
Yeah, so what's the fucking difference? Like if you were doing it for health reasons, because
Hold on. But that is health, though. Those are all white meat. That's protein. That is much better for you than like a fried hamburger. Please, don't even start with me on that.
You think that deep fried
Those
chicken
are all
tenders,
white meat chicken tenders.
You think that
All
deep
white meat.
fried chicken tenders are good for you?
No, what I'm saying is they're full of protein. They're full of things that are
It's
really
a
good for you.
tender's basket with fries, and he gets a soda, and he gets a dessert sundae. But he's calling it healthy.
That's actually
Yeah.
worse for you than getting a burger at McDonald's. You realize that?
No. Well, I mean, if you add the sundae on and all that stuff.
No,
sure, but,
you take
like, the chicken tenders themselves.
the chicken
is
tenders.
pure white meat protein.
They're dipped.
They're always saying
they're
try to
dipped.
eat more
They're dipped
protein
in,
and eat
they're
less
dipped-
carbohydrates.
And what you've done is eat more carbohydrates than a fucking hamburger, you moron. They're dipped.
No,
There's-
'cause
they're
there's no
coated.
bun- there's no
they're
bun
coated. They're coated in batter and deep fried. What do you think the batter is?
Sure, but there's
Sure.
white meat.
No. Bet you it's almost like double the amount of calories.
No way.
What sauce do you get?
Then a
I get the
hamburger.
sweet and sour.
So that's
I don't get a hamburger at this time of year. I would be getting something to get stickers on.
They don't have a hamburger. Like maybe you just get a
Not
hamburger.
on the hamburgers. No, no, I can't. I can't.
But you can go
So-
to Dairy Queen instead, and claim
Yeah.
that you're eating healthy and getting a Sundae.
Healthier.
It's not healthier though.
Healthier.
We just went through this.
Well, the Sunday doesn't help. I agree with Geoff on that.
But you don't agree with me when I just spelled it out for you about the chicken tenders?
Well, just the chicken tenders are pure white meat protein.
Then why did you get nuggets at McDonald's, which have less batter on them and are probably, according to you, much healthier?
Well, they probably are.
Paul, yes, you can chime in.
I quickly looked up the calories in like a Big Mac meal versus a chicken strip basket from Dairy Queen, and they were both around like 1,100 calories.
Jesus Christ.
For the meal.
Thank you.
And then
Thank
you add
you.
in ice cream, you're looking like I
Probably
imagine it was a
12,
2,000 calorie meal that you
Oh,
had
ice cream
earlier
is probably
today.
1,000 on its own.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, so Tim
Yeah.
is eating more in his one meal at Dairy Queen calorie-wise than I eat during the course of the day, and I'm still getting like 5 times as much protein.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to knock the guy for going to Dairy Queen, but
But
you
he wa-
were doing everything in your power today to try to tempt me
oh,
into
if
going
you
to
didn't
McDonald's.
listen, you had 2 more minutes before I was going to call you Kamala. Stop dodging my question.
And you know, I'm not going to lie. I thought about it. I definitely thought about it. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't think about how amazing like a quarter pounder would have been at that moment with their fries extra large because you got to get the
Yeah.
stickers and like
Listen,
one of those like beautiful DCs that they comes on tap, but like you just can't beat.
Dairy Queen's Pepsi products.
I know. Frustrates me to no end. Like I was also considering going to KFC today too instead, but like that's also Pepsi products is the thing.
Okay,
So-
I would have got the popcorn. I
hold
would have
on.
got the popcorn chicken, which
So-
is also better protein.
So I'm on this right now. So the basket that you got with the white meat chicken, the meal itself has 80 grams of carbohydrates in it. A junior chicken meal, if you get the fries and the junior chicken from McDonald's, has 50 grams of carbohydrates in it.
Okay, but I wouldn't get a junior chicken.
Get
What-
no-
what- what, we
no
had to get pure
stickers
white
on a
meat.
junior chicken.
A McChicken.
Yeah, but
I
he's
can
not.
get that to get my
But he's
stickers.
not getting stickers, Geoff. So what? Like, if he's abstaining from Monopoly as it is, isn't he just open to order anything on the menu?
Okay, but Tim,
If he's
here's the
actively
thing
going
about
to a
the
different
credit.
place to get chicken, and he won't go to one place because it doesn't have stickers and it's chicken, I don't quite understand that. It sounded like
Yeah,
he
no,
just.
his
It sounded
game
like he wanted to
theory here
fucking.
is-
It sounded like he wanted a Sunday.
his game theory here is flawed, but he wants credits. What's Pat supposed to do? Like, no offense, Tim, but I don't know how it works. But if you go to like Alcoholics Anonymous and you stay sober, like for a week, do you get the poker chip yet? Like, do you want Pat to hand you a poker chip next time you come over for abstaining? Like, what do you want? I think there's some credit here because you've shown willpower.
No, but what?
But I also think
but
going to
what's
Montreal-
Thank you.
What's the willpower? There is no willpower. What was the point of not playing?
No, like not
I wanna-
having 2-a-days.
Like, what is the point of not playing Monopoly if you're just going to fast food anyway? Just a different restaurant.
Okay, but see, I think the trip to Montreal really fucked up his equilibrium because what Tim would have done the week before Monopoly, as he says often, Pat, is he goes on
I
a
couldn't do my
tour.
farewell
He goes
tour.
on a farewell tour of all the fast food places that he won't be going to, and he lost that opportunity. And like tomorrow, he's probably going to Burger King for Whopper Wednesday.
It's Whopper Wednesday. I wanted one last Whopper Wednesday to say goodbye. I didn't get my Whopper Wednesday.
So
And then
did you want to receive credit right now? So when you're done this tour, you're just going to start playing Monopoly?
I feel like I'd let people down if we came on here next week and I told them where I was in Monopoly.
That you're
I feel like I'd let people down.
that you're way behind the 8 ball in terms of winning. Look at this. Look at these.
What
that
are
whole-
they?
What's that?
Stickers, it looks like.
Oh,
It's a lot of stickers.
Look at all these.
Those hole in
Look at
your
all
hole
those.
in one analogy that you made on Sunday,
Look at all those
was
stickers, Tim.
Pat. Your hole in one
Those are
analogy.
those are just from coffee.
Ugh.
crazy. the hole-in-one analogy from Sunday was spot on. Like Tim playing but wanting to save face from the internet so he can't admit to his like big win.
Exactly. I would likely win the
But
Equinox.
I think your credit is actually so fucking soft, in the sense that, like, if you had a buddy that was trying to, like, anyone, like a diet or trying to quit a substance, like, congrats, you made it a fucking week for not going to McDonald's.
Yeah, this is like,
Like, at
this is
the
like when
end,
I,
maybe
this is,
you
what-
get
like
the
this is
credit.
when I tell my wife I quit smoking. It's been like 5 days. She's like, "Sure thing, pal."
Yeah, like you want credit, like, because not going for 5 days smoking is an achievement to you, but you have to, like, I don't know, a week isn't enough time, I think, to be like, give me credit.
But
Because everyone still thinks you're gonna break.
But that's also not the thing, though. If I was just like, yeah, I'm not smoking cigarettes anymore. I'm like injecting heroin instead to replace it, or something the equivalent or worse. That's what Tim's doing with McDonald's. He's just not going to McDonald's. He's just eating a ton more fast food.
Yeah, Dairy Queen today, Burger King tomorrow.
So what I don't understand is what is the point of not going to McDonald's and doing something you enjoy then?
And like Wendy's has got the single on for $4 right now. Like there's all these like deals that come out during Monopoly at the competitors that I've never been able to use before, or like ever been able to like
And
try
McDonald's
before.
never has coupons during
Oh,
Monopoly.
I look at the app just to see what the coops look like, and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
and
no,
the
you're
things that
not
are
getting a coupon
advertised
for stickers.
No, well, this is it. And the stuff that's advertised, like the McGriddle, which you can't get a sticker for. It's like, of course, like, of course not.
So
I don't know what else to say.
So when are you gonna go?
Look, I'm not going to promise perfection, but I'd really like to try not to go. Like it. The thing is, I miss it. I will say that. I will say I really miss it. Like some people say, oh, I don't do something, and I don't even notice. I don't even miss doing that. I really miss it. I think about it all the time. I really do. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I really miss it.
Jared was
McDonald's is in your face a lot. They have a hard advertising campaign.
They're on all the billboards as I drive around. Like
baseball playoffs, football
This is it,
games,
right?
heavy
Like-
McDonald's commercial inventory. So it's hard to avoid, Tim. It's hard.
You can't avoid it, and like, I just miss it.
Why are you depraving?
Yeah,
Like, how does
I'm
it-
trying to be healthy here.
But you're going to fucking eat fast food every day somewhere else.
No,
What the
but
fuck
I'm
is the
not going
difference?
for instead of going for like heavy fried beef. I'm going for like pure white meat stuff.
No,
You're
going to
eating
Whopper
deep
Wednesday
fried
tomorrow.
fucking chicken fingers. What's wrong with you?
I mean, like, I thought I was making a better choice.
I just told you weren't.
Okay, well, but
I don't know
That's
how.
not
I don't
even
know
fact.
how in your fucking warped mind that you think that was a healthier choice.
well, because it's all white meat, and I thought the better the protein, the more protein, the better.
You think that beef doesn't have protein in it?
Well, it does, but not as much as the chicken strip.
Are
basket.
you sure it doesn't?
I mean, I don't.
No,
The way you say that makes me think no, but in my mind, I thought yes.
Why? Okay, if you really wanted to get extra protein, why didn't you go buy some skinless chicken breast and make it in your air fryer that I gave you?
I'm going to make some skinless.
No,
chicken
but you
breast.
didn't. You went to fucking Dairy Queen to buy deep fried chicken.
Well, I had to celebrate.
Celebrate what?
Celebrate Saleh being fired and my season being saved and a chance at the Super Bowl.
He earned himself a reward, a treat.
I felt like the situation called for some, and I couldn't have any cake because we ate it all on the show. So
Yeah, we
like,
actually did. We threw out the rest of the cake.
that's understandable. Like the situation warranted for a celebration. What do you want me to do?
When I said eat more protein, I didn't mean deep fried protein.
Well, you didn't specify. You said more protein. So I thought of these chicken strips. Like I see them advertised. Also see those advertised a lot on TV. I've been seeing them a lot recently. I've been thinking about them as well. I was like, well, this seems like a perfect like substitution to what I would usually be doing.
You also just said you're going to Wendy's tomorrow for a burger, by the way.
I didn't say I was going
Burger
to.
King.
A burger, yeah,
it-
you're going to get a Whopper.
Maybe. I
you
do
are.
enjoy Whopper Wednesday.
You are
I do
going.
enjoy that.
And you're going to go get this Wendy's burger, too, because it's on sale.
Well, it's on for $4 right now, the Dave single, which is a pretty good price.
But you can't eat the one at McDonald's because you had chicken fingers today and you ate your very healthy deep fried chicken tenders.
I'm probably going to have chicken again this evening because I've got chicken breasts to put in my air fryer.
Yummy.
You told me
With
before
some
that when I tried
bake?
when I tried to like map out an eating schedule for you, that you said it wouldn't work because you don't like eating the same things over and over, and now you're doing
No,
that.
but I already bought the chicken breast a couple of days ago.
Then why
so
did
I
you
need
go
to
and
cook
get
them.
chicken today then? If you knew you were going to make that
Because
tonight?
I don't know. I don't know. I just thought about it and I was hungry and I just wanted them. Okay. And then like I forgot
He
there was a
had to
Sunday
go
I could
eat
have.
lunch. He
And
had
then
to
like
eat lunch
then Geoff mentioned the
quickly.
Sunday and then I got excited and like
He had to just go eat lunch quickly, or he could have ended up at McDonald's.
like a sausage and egg McMuffin from McDonald's would be so good.
We had a few of those because people used to make the McDonald's run during our trip when
Yes.
we were away last week. Like, I don't know, I'm just big on picking the sausage out of it and just eating the sausage. That's
It's the first time on the trip. It's the first time I've had a classic egg McMuffin in years. I never ordered those.
Is that the
The
one
ones with the ham or the Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
I never ordered.
Don't like
I hit
those.
I hit the hash brown bag, but just like I didn't think I'd wanted one of those before a long day at the golf course. So actually, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that-
I enjoyed them.
That's why I passed on. I mean, I didn't have any of the hash browns. I just took the bread off, so just ate like the cheese and the sausage. You know, that's the protein you want to get, Tim. If you're gonna make a
So you're saying don't eat the fries, just eat the chicken strips.
wait, but the chicken strips are covered in fucking batter.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that if you get the sausage McMuffin, if you want to avoid the carbs, don't eat the bun. Or you can pick all the batter off of the chicken, but you won't do that because the only reason
That's
you've ordered it.
that's way too much work.
It's not way too much work. It's that the only reason that you're ordering it is for the batter. That's deep fried.
Well, it's one of the reasons.
Yeah. So you're not going to do that, are you?
Sure. No, I'm not going to do that.
No. But with the burger, you could just not eat the bun, and then boom, that carb level that was lower anyway goes way lower.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe tomorrow I'll just get a salad.
You won't.
okay, man, from Burger King.
Yeah,
No, like the grocery store has these like really nice $7 salads that are like for an individual.
He told me about these
Can't you
last
just-
time. He said it was the thing that he was going to do. The first thing he did when he got home
And I
from the
did.
trip was go to get one of these things. Then he told me what was in it. He's like, yeah, it's really healthy. He told me the amount of fucking sauce that he puts on. It's like, why?
It's just a small little container. It's just a tiny one.
It was not a tiny container, Tim, when you showed it
It's
to
just
me.
a little tiny container.
It's
It's a
not.
plastic little thing.
Bas-
Like the sort of thing that would come with your chicken wings.
Yeah, exactly.
A little plastic container, like not a huge amount.
And it wasn't a vinaigrette. It was like sauce. So basically, there's no point of eating the salad. You're just eating the sauce.
No, you get all the vegetables and all the good things that come from the vegetables, all the proteins. Like that doesn't vitiate
All the protein
the
that's in
vitamins
the
that you
vegetables?
get for all that. Not the protein, but like all the various nutrients that you get from the stuff.
Just get some. Go use code Mayo at AG1. Pound one of those back. You'll be fine for your greens. Like you're eating salad because you think it's healthy, and then you actively make it unhealthy.
Well,
So there's no
I
point
understand what
of
you're saying
eating
with
it.
the dressing, but there really isn't that much dressing in those little things. There really isn't.
I don't feel like you're the best judge of this. You
Like,
just
it's
told
not
us-
like- it's
you
not
just
like one
you
of those
just
little
told us
packs.
you just told us that deep fried chicken tenders are healthy.
Well, no, I didn't say they were healthy. I said they were healthier than an alternative.
Which was wrong, by the way.
I don't know.
So maybe you're not the best judge of that.
I mean, I'm not an expert. I don't
But-
pretend to be.
But you really have your convictions about this and then tell us about it as if you're right. So it sounds like you do have a lot of conviction on this.
Well, like if I didn't think I was right, I wouldn't do it.
But we keep telling you that you're not right and then you keep doing it.
Well, it just seems like I can't have anything.
You can eat healthier. If you want to actually eat healthier, you can eat healthier. You can eat actually healthy, not look for different versions of bad eating.
Yeah, I guess that's right. That's fair.
Yeah. Deep fried, bad. Just think about that. Just use that as a general rule of thumb.
That's why my idea of the all air fryer
Oh my
restaurant
God.
would be great. I had this idea where it would be a restaurant where all the food that would be served would all be cooked in an air fryer. You name it, it's air fried. It would be fast. It would be
No,
fresh. It would
that-
be crispy. It would be healthy.
That's the thing,
Public
Jeff.
doesn't want to pay for that.
it
They'd
also
rather just
wouldn't
good
be-
fast food.
It wouldn't be fast either.
They'd rather like no. You're walking like a middle ground of shit. Like people just can do that at home.
Yeah.
People can make soup at home, but they don't. The restaurants all have soup.
Restaurant soup quality is a lot different.
Yeah.
Or a
come on.
salad, or people can cook a really good piece of steak on the grill. Like
No, well,
Okay, whatever, man.
you don't get
I
you
don't
don't get
think
bur-
your analogy breaks down.
No, it doesn't, because everything that you get at the restaurant, especially like if it's a soup, like if you make soup at home, you're either making canned soup, or if you make homemade soup, you're just making a ton of soup, which maybe that you don't want. You just want to have a nice French onion soup or something at a restaurant, and you want it to be restaurant quality. And knowing how you cook, it's not going to be that way anyway. So you're just going to live with whatever terrible version out of your Campbell's soup can that you add some like salt to and some
I have some stag chili, which is the chili lovers love. That's what I have in my cabinet for a soup.
That's
like
that's chili. It's not a soup.
Chili's a soup. Whatever. I don't care.
Chili
Chili's
is
a type
not
of
a
soup.
soup.
It's like a type of soup. It's not conventional, but it's a type of soup.
I'd say it's more of a stew than a soup if you were going to go down.
I
that
think
road.
stew is essentially a soup too.
It's
I
not.
think they're all soups.
They're not all soups. But anyway, with the air fryer, like if it was at a restaurant, you can cook stuff better in a better way than in an air fryer to begin with, especially if you go to a restaurant where they have industrial equipment. And if you cooked it in an air fryer, it would just take a lot longer than the places that you're talking about, which use a deep fryer. That's why they use the deep fryer, because it's so fucking fast.
But it would be healthier, and the speed would be fine.
No, it
compared
wouldn't
to
be
like
fine.
a regular sit-down restaurant.
No, it wouldn't. No, it absolutely would not. It would still take them just as long to cook this stuff. Like how long do you think a piece of chicken cooked properly, not however the fuck you cook it, takes in an air fryer? 25 minutes?
No, it doesn't take anywhere near that.
Yeah, because you turn it up to the highest possible grade of temperature and try to do it as fast as possible. I guarantee you, it tastes like fucking shit.
My air fryer chicken breasts taste really good. I don't know why you're besmirching them. They're actually really tasty.
Geoff?
They're probably dry.
Yeah.
And I use my meat thermometer that I got to make sure that they're properly cooked. And I know what I'm doing, and they actually taste really good.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, like I made a chicken parm the other night with it. It was delicious.
Would you
Yum,
want to
yum.
Would you want to go to an air fryer restaurant, Geoff?
No, it's stupid. It's just
No, like it'd be great for apps. It'd be a healthier way to have all the apps that you love.
I don't know
It
what the
would-
fuck that means.
Well, instead of them being deep fried, they're air fried. So like you could have the pepperoni
apps.
without apps, so like appetizer. You can have the pepperoni without all the guilt, or the chicken wings without all the guilt, or
I
name
mean,
it.
you can make that same boring shit at home easily.
Yeah,
Or your matzo sticks without the guilt.
I made.
I can't make a bloomin' onion at home.
You can't, but like you can. Go ahead.
I made air fried chicken wings for myself on Sunday here. They
They
weren't.
smelled delicious.
They weren't good for me, Tim. They were so bad for me.
Okay, but they're healthier for you than
No,
if they
they're
had
not-
been deep fried in oil,
Yes.
right?
They are not as bad as deep fried chicken wings. That doesn't
That's
make them
what-
good.
No, it makes them healthier, but that doesn't necessarily make them healthy. I agree.
But you tend to think that if you eat something that you call healthier, aka not as detrimentally bad for you to give you heart disease quicker, that's something you should be actively be going to eat.
No, I'm just saying that it's better than the alternative.
What's the no that you seem to think that this is binary, that you either have those or those. You can just have not those if you actually want to eat healthy. You don't have
but,
to have chicken wings.
You're right. I agree.
And the reason
But
that
an all air fryer that would be great.
it wouldn't. It would take fucking forever, and you get lesser quality food.
Well, if you don't know how to use your air fryer, I guess.
Well, you seem to think that this would be like if I went to a real restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant where they make real meals. You think I want my food air fried? And do you think that they're deep frying the stuff?
Then don't go to the air fried restaurant. Then go somewhere else.
Well, this is just like your fucking non-alcoholic bar or whatever it was that you're like, oh,
Which
look,
is taking over.
yeah, it's taking over, Geoff. Someone sent a thing to Cust, and then Cust just read a headline, and he's like, look, it's taking over. So I read the article, not taking over. It's basically a charity project by people who own these fucking things. They all admit they make no money whatsoever, and they're probably going to be out of business.
Yeah, sounds whatever. Hard pass.
Let's get to the late set of games. Steelers at Vegas. Vegas is a 3-point underdog at home, and I believe that she's trying to get rid of congressmen and senators owning stock. She's also starting at quarterback for the Raiders, Tim. It's AOC.
Yeah.
This can't go well.
I don't
against
know what
Pittsburgh's
to-
D.
You wouldn't think so. Like Pittsburgh is an overrated team. There was a reason I thought they were in tough against Dallas on Sunday.
The game they should
I
have
still
won.
think, both teams. I don't know. Dallas threw that terrible pick at the end of the half that Dallas should have been up by by 10 at the half. Like, I don't know. I feel like the right team won that game. I just don't trust it. The Raiders are so Jekyll and Hyde. Like, and they can actually start well and then they can fade. It's like, I don't know. I will take the Steelers, but I have zero confidence in it. Would not be surprised at all if Oakland won. But I will take Pittsburgh against the number with slight confidence.
Geoff, would you be surprised if a team that doesn't have a team won this game?
If a team that doesn't have a what?
Oh, well, Tim said he's going to pick Oakland in this game, and I don't believe that's where they
Las
are.
Vegas, whatever. Like,
I feel like those are two separate places in two separate states.
Sure.
I'm very torn on this game. Like Tim, it seems easy. Like you just blindly take the Steelers to feast, but I don't know. I feel like we could be on the cusp of seeing like the other Steelers coming up here. Raiders just a hard team to trust. I don't think Pierce has any real control. I just got to take the Steelers, but
Fields is playing for his job. And if they lose this game, I don't think he starts the next.
You told me I was crazy for saying that the other night, by the way.
Yeah, but if they lose to the Raiders after having lost to the Cowboys and having lost like that after
Colts,
a 3-game
too.
losing streak, I mean, coming off a 3-game losing streak, and I believe
Russ
taking
is
on the Jets on Sunday
definitely-
night. Like I think Russ is you gotta
Russ is going to spike his water Sunday morning, so he plays like ass, and then Russ can get right back in there.
But if you like Fields and you think Fields is still the better option, then you expect he'll play well. He'll play well this Sunday and keep his job for another week. I want him on next Sunday night.
The Raiders can't play defense. They already had a criminally offensive offense, Geoff, and now they're starting a worse quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
Pittsburgh, -3.
Doesn't make any sense.
Hey, I feel like we're getting a discount on Pittsburgh because they lost on Sunday Night Football to Dallas.
Could be right. I'm taking them because I don't want to trust the Raiders, and I just have so much more faith in the program, in the sort of Tuesday through Saturday, in the preparation for one side, and I just trust the game wreckers on defense more. Crosby's clearly been hurt. I think he said he's feeling good though finally, but the game wreckers on the Steelers are going to show up.
Your team, Geoff, is on the road in Denver. The Broncos are 3-point dogs at home against your Superchargers coming off of a bye week. Derwin should be back for this game. Are Joe, the alt-right, and the other tackle back?
So I really don't know.
What about those
probably
pressers?
One of the more crucial injury. Yeah, they didn't call me. No one's updated me. Haven't missed any calls from the area code. The injury report on this one feels like it's going to be pretty important. I'm expecting them back. It seemed like most of them were back yesterday. The Chargers held what seemed like a walkthrough or a practice, but since they didn't play on Sunday, I didn't get a Monday presser because it didn't exist. I also just really miss the guys. Haven't seen them. I mean, last week they were on bye. The week before we were in Montreal. So just, it created a bit of a different setup. I feel like I haven't just gotten it how I want it for a few weeks. So I'm excited. It'll be interrupted by Canadian Thanksgiving. But I'm not going to the dinner that you can make fun of me about because the Chargers are playing. So I pass on those sorts of plates in order to watch the Chargers.
Were you invited? Are you passing on it, or is it you weren't invited?
Listen,
those are two separate things.
It's a really busy week because it is the Kipper.
Yes, it is.
Later in the week, and it's sort of piggybacking with Thanksgiving.
You get your yum-yums for the Kipper on Thanksgiving?
I don't know what that means. It's sort of like, well, no, they're not on the same day. That would suck.
Are the Chargers going to win one for the Kipper this week?
I hope so. Listen, Daniel Berger had a great couple rounds on the Roche.
Hey, I bet Daniel Berger this week, so let's go.
I think if he said he's 100%.
Then
so if Daniel Berger's 100% in the field of that talent, it does seem I could see totally why you'd want to bet it. I spoke about it on my odds checker video, which is up on my Twitter feed. He's a guy I'm certainly swimming around. I people want me to have some like passionate rant about this football game. I don't. I thought I would get a better spread. I'm kind of surprised the Chargers are laying this number. Denver might actually be the most publicly backed dog. People have just seen them look really good the last few weeks. The Chargers out of sight, out of mind. We're not a fantasy bros offense. So I can see why people want to get in on Denver. God, please let Joey Bosa be healthy so I can attack this Bo Nix from two sides. Please.
You know where you would get a better spread? At your $3,500 a plate Thanksgiving dinner.
Excuse me? Oh. Now you've raised the price of dinner by $2,000.
I'm not so sure I have raised it. I think I'm just accurately finally quoting what it really costs.
So
I
Geoff,
don't think that's true.
So-
but
Jeff, you're taking Denver?
Yeah,
no,
Jeff,
I'm not.
Jeff doesn't get out of bed in the morning for $1,000 a plate dinner.
No, that what you talking about? That's Pizzola.
It was $2,000.
And I actually agree.
I
love
agree with
playing
him too.
I love playing fantasy football. I love my home league with my best buddies. But that guy who's just like obsessed with it. And then the thing about them, Pat, is they will like encourage that we raise the entry to get it to a level where those of us who like being in the pool and want to be in the pool will like care more. But I don't know that that's, like, I don't know. I don't know that that'll.
Oh, see,
help.
I find it goes the other way with it. That the moment that you start jacking up the prices for these sorts of things, the super hardo guy gets like real squeamish.
Okay, yeah, maybe you could be right, but there's like hardos that just want like everyone to match his passion, and it's just impossible when I've got like this bet on a prop that like pays me the same as the entry for the pool. So I'm like, what do I fucking care? I'll worry about how my team did at the end of the night. I don't know why I'm going in so many directions, but talking about the Chargers.
Because they're going to lose to Denver. I'm taking Denver +3 at home.
Really don't want this. Tim talks about Hinge game. He might be the authority on it.
He calls every game a
Feels
Hinge game.
really freaking important, though. Like for the context of who's going to finish behind the Chiefs. I want to body bag the Broncos so badly. I don't know if I got the pieces to do it, and they're not very good. So that's not a compliment about what I'm working with. I'll take the Chargers. I will say I've been reassured, like one of the better syndicates. So I've been like told, bet the Chargers. So go Chargers.
Tim, I'm taking Denver. I think these teams are like exactly the same.
So
Yeah,
take the rest. Oh, you'll take the points. Points. Yeah.
No,
points.
I'm
home,
gonna take the Chargers.
I'll go away. You go away. I wanted Pat to take the Chargers.
Well,
I
I'm
want you to
taking the
go
Chargers.
away.
Too bad. I'm taking the Chargers
Why?
because I don't particularly like this Broncos team, even though they played good football the last couple of weeks. And coming off the bye in division, I like taking the Chargers here.
I don't want to lose to a lady's golf visor. Oh,
He was
Pat,
wearing a baseball cap last game, Jeff. I will say he wore the full
shit.
hat. I noticed that, and I made that note to mention that to you on the show.
And there was in the golf on the weekend, we had like a dueling final pair for the win in high crowns.
Yeah, and which one of
And
them won,
then
Jeff?
both of them gagged it.
None of them. None of them won.
Yeah. Yeah, then they both gagged it pretty hard in different ways. But I was like, oh shit, these high crowns are dueling. And I was like, go high crown. Yeah, Chargers for me. Better freaking win. Next week, I believe the Chargers play Arizona on Monday night. Flag football.
I see. I like the Chargers in that game.
It's a double header. It's a late double header.
Well, how late?
Like late. Like
The fuck you talking about? Give me the time.
well, the first game, like it's the second of two games, and the first game kicks off at 9 something my time. I'll tell you exactly. Hold on.
Oh my god, they're doing this to me.
So yeah, Baltimore.
I'm gonna get like Doris.
Baltimore, Tampa starts at 8:15 Eastern. Then LA, Arizona starts at 8:45 Eastern.
No.
Great,
9.
I'm gonna get
9.
like Doris Burke.
No, it says 8. It
Guarantee
says
it, too.
9:45 our time, so 8:45 Eastern.
Another thing I'm looking at says 10 hour time, but okay, fair enough.
So who's gonna get Buck and Aikman? Not me. I'm gonna get Doris Burke.
Oh, Ravens Buccaneers will be Buck and Aikman.
Yeah, you might get like Chris Berman and you, Jeff, doing this Los Angeles game if you do well enough hosting that Rumble Home Run Derby, which people believe that you were actually hosting.
Nope.
Why are they
Not
doing a
me.
double header in 2 weeks? Anyway, whatever.
I like more double headers, but I guess when West Coast teams are in the double header, they're still starting it a bit later.
I love this week 7 is going to be glorious. We got Thursday, we got London, we got a double header on Monday.
Only 2 bye weeks though.
Chicago and Dallas. But to take a look at it, there's way too many 1 p.m. games. Only 3 late games. Stupid.
There must be a powerhouse game though then. Like a powerhouse game.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, San Francisco and the Chiefs. Super Bowl
of course.
rematch.
No. Carolina, Washington.
Yeah.
They're in the next game.
Like when there's and there's a powerhouse game surrounded by 2. Well, at least they tried to have 2 deadbeat games. Daniels might be must-see TV against a goober defense.
It's going to be fantastic. Nice rebound game if they get beat by the Ravens. Atlanta and those Carolina Panthers. We just talked about. The Panthers are 6-point dogs at home against the Falcons. Good offensive performance from the Falcons on Thursday night. Kind of worry about their defense a little, though, Tim.
Yeah, but Carolina's not the team to scare me about that.
Yeah, but do you worry that their defense, like the one thing that we overlooked all taking Carolina last week with Chicago was Chicago has a good defense and they can really slow down this kind of like, it feels like Dalton can take advantage of bad defenses, but against good defenses, they're really not going to do anything. And if you believe that what we saw on Thursday night is more indicative of the Falcons than what we saw the first few weeks, that they might just be able to maybe not beat them outright, although they are a home dog in division, which is something you always used to love. But if Atlanta's just going to be ceding points the entire time, I expect them to score a ton of points, but Carolina easily keeps us within 7. If it's going to be 6, I like those outcomes.
I understand that. I think the Falcons' defense is better than it looked Thursday, but not as good as it looked the first few weeks. I don't trust Carolina at all. Like they played nowhere close to covering the last 2 weeks. With Dalton in. So I'm going to take the Falcons. The Panthers have to show me something.
I'm going to take the Panthers, Geoff at home dog getting 6. I think the line's a bit inflated from what people saw on Thursday night.
So I actually agree with you, Pat. I think if I had to call my Fienberg shot of the week, this is the Atlanta win, the Carolina cover, and the spread. I mean, Atlanta's about to pull off the 3-week division sweep. Mm-hmm. Which is going to do them wonders when we're looking back on this sucker in those standings in a few weeks. Credit to them, but I don't know. Their defense is flimsy. They don't blow out anybody. I mean, you spoke about it. We spoke about it with the Texans. I know they don't really, gas pedal anyone at the moment. Atlanta kind of feels like these last second barn burners. Anyway, the concern would be Carolina's bad to begin with. And without having seen an injury report, my perception was they had a lot of guys leave that game on defense with injuries. So they're just going to be even worse, I think. And maybe this is the game where Atlanta does create some true separation like Chicago. But having to pick it here, Carolina covers, Atlanta wins. I'd be scared to tease it too.
Atlanta, a -4 point differential despite being 3-2.
Well, they've won 3 straight crazy coin flip. Well, no, they lost the Chiefs game, which was its own coin flip. They've just been in coin flips.
Yeah, they beat the Eagles in that coin flip. They lost to the Chiefs. They beat the Saints in it, and then they beat the Bucs in it in overtime. The only game where they really looked not good and outright lost was week 1 against the Steelers.
And they only lost that by a single score, 8 points.
They lost by 8 points, but they were non-competitive offensively in that game.
I agree. But if your worst loss of the year is by 8 points, doing something right.
But that's in hindsight, they always talk about how the offenses are sort of slower out of the gate, and then they were playing that monster healthy defense. I know it's easy to look back on, but yeah, I don't hold we've seen a more true reflection of what their offense will be week in, week out, because there's very few defenses like Pittsburgh.
The premier game of the late slate is Detroit at Dallas. Dallas coming off its win on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh. Detroit coming off of a bye week, presumably getting most of their offense back healthy. The Cowboys are 3.5-point dogs at home against the Lions. I still don't know what to make of Dallas. I'm kind of convinced that they're not good, so I'm going to take the Lions -3.5.
I'm going to take the home dog.
No. You go first.
I'm going to take the home dog.
He's taking Dallas.
I'm taking the Lions here off of the bye, maybe getting the win will not force Dallas to do something with the injury or returning a guy too early, as important as Parsons. Maybe it's we already know his status for the game. I believe this is a chance for the coach, the coordinator, to show off. Maybe he's the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys here. I really think I like Detroit off the bye with a coordinator that I trust, off of a great overachieving performance on the road by Dallas. I like the Lions here. It's kind of a one-way thought process. Maybe I'm missing something, but I really like it.
I'd just be worried about the Lions' defense, I guess. They've just been giving up a lot of chunk yardage, but we saw it in the Tampa game that they lost, and even in the Arizona game, which they still ended up winning, they've just been putting up a bunch of yardage, and their red zone offense just is not coming through. And then all of a sudden they play Seattle, it works, then they go on by. So that's the last thing that sticks out in our mind, was them just scoring a bunch of points.
Don't you trust that coach and those weapons?
I do.
Like, with getting those yardages, they'll get the red zone stuff?
Yeah, but just they had been bad in the red zone for 2 weeks, and then it kind of switched over against the Seahawks. That I could see a situation where they outgained Dallas 3-1, yet they just settle for field goals the entire time, which would lead me to believe that Dallas would cover the game. I believe Detroit's going to cover, so I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just trying to see it from the Dallas side. That
I actually also love it, like from a spot game perspective. Big emotional last second win on the road. Not a rivalry game in like the true sense of like the division aspect, but an NFL big picture, absolutely a rivalry game. If you watched any of the pre or the post game from the locker room, Mike McCarthy, a Pennsylvania Pittsburgh boy, that was one they wanted. Apparently the Cowboys like don't even do game balls regularly, and like the whole team did a thing for him after the game. So in some ways it was like a rivalry, a big rivalry, last second win. We know the history of the teams, not that that really should matter. I just love it from a spot for Detroit off the bye. They're going to expose that Dallas injuries on defense in a way Pittsburgh doesn't have the personnel or the coaching to do.
Yeah, just even to look at how Dallas has played so far this season, like they're bottom 10 in offense, they're bottom 10 in defense, and they have really good special teams. But Detroit also has a good special teams too.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is all true. I just am concerned that Detroit's defense still isn't close to fixed, and that Dallas should be able to play. I mean, Dallas has certainly been able to score offense in little spurts, and I don't know. The Lions just seem like they've been sleepwalking a lot this season, and I just think Dallas is tough-minded. That was a tough win on Sunday night with a lot of things conspiring against them, and they stood tall. They won that game, and they probably should have won it by more. So I kind of like them in this spot. I think they're kind of resilient.
Dallas 0-2 at home, 3-0 on the road, and crazy, right? Because the prior on that was they only lost at home on the blowing a playoff game or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't believe Tim didn't take the road dome team.
I do like road dome teams. You're right, and I do like teams coming off bye too. But
you hate Detroit this week.
I'm just kind of feeling this Cowboys team. I think they're underrated, and I kind of have a soft spot for them. Maybe
Sunday night football. Cincinnati at the Giants. 3.5 is the line right now. Give me the Giants at home on Monday Night Football. Bengals will win by 3 because they can't stop anyone.
No, I think this line is too short. I think this is like the biggest discount you can get on the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Other guy on the show, you got thoughts?
Bengals.
See, that's why I think that you've talked yourself and into pretzels and galaxy braining a few things so far today about, hey, that side doesn't seem right. The public's going to be on that side.
This doesn't seem right.
Everyone's going to bet the fucking Bengals in this game. And the Giants have been not good, but they're certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination. And the one thing that the Giants have done really well so far this year is pressure the quarterback. And we saw Washington be able to pressure Cincinnati. to an extreme amount, and it got Burrow off his game just a little bit, and then they couldn't stop anyone. Now, they couldn't stop Lamar, they couldn't stop Jaden Daniels. The two guys have been the two best quarterbacks in the league so far this season. But Daniel Jones is somewhere in the middle, at least how he's been playing the past few weeks, and I think that we forget that Daboll's actually a good offensive coordinator.
No, I think I mentioned it when how great it was. He made it look easy for Daniel Jones versus the Mike McDonald defense, which kind of not even that the Giants won or made nice plays. It was how efficient and easy they operated in Seattle. That's what impressed me. I'm going. You're right, Pat. Like I have to flip flop to the Giants here. I don't think I've done it all show. I'm flip flopping. And almost for the same stupid reason I think I took the Jags to start this sucker in London is because the whole world's going to want to start their day with a win, and the Bears just seem so obvious. You lose a couple units on Sunday at like -3.5 on Joe Burrow versus a team I think is bottom 5. I mean, the whole world thinks they're going to be able to get their money back for free on the Bengals. This might actually be the most public side of the week when it's all said and done and people needing to chase what's often a shitty Sunday. I'm flip-flopping. I don't know anything. Give me the Giants, but I don't even like it.
It just comes down to whether or not we can see the ball control from the Giants that we saw against Seattle. Can they effectively run the ball? I doubt Singletary is going to play. It's going to be Tyrone Tracy again. Can Daniel Jones not throw some interceptions, which is something that you don't necessarily have to do against the Bengals when you're taking on their defense? It's just, it feels like a boat race game that if you can just stop Burrow once or twice, you probably cover the 3, even if you lose by 3, or 3.5, even if you lose by 3.
Something I really noticed in watching that Seattle game was that when Seattle could get moving and get momentum, they activated the no huddle, which put the Giants, they can really expose the matchups on the Giants when they do that and they get them in the no huddle and they can't make certain defensive change personnel that really hampers the Giants, and the Bengals have like the perfect talent set to do a lot of the similar things. Like Geno threw for 50 yards in the first half, and then by the end of it, he had 28 fantasy points.
True. He also broke off that big run as well. So I just like the way that the Giants are playing right now. And I think that, listen, if you want to bet the Bengals, just go, like as Tim said with the Jets in the Bills game for Monday night. If you're going to bet the Bengals, bet them like -13 or something, because they might go 38-3 in this game, and the defense shows up and they continue to roll offensively. I just think it's going to be a lot closer than that with the Giants at home. All right. Thank you. Yes, great contribution.
Well, I said a lot. I'm waiting for Tim to say something, or maybe he thinks the show's been too long.
I think
I just think the Bengals can score a lot of points, and I have absolutely zero faith that the Giants can score a lot of points. When have they done that all year? When have they shown the ability to put up, a significant number of points in order to defeat a Bengals offense? Which, that's not the problem. The Bengals offense is scoring points in bunches. Like they lost to the Commanders because the Commanders can also score a lot of points. They lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Chiefs because those teams scored 25 and they scored 41 points. The Giants are not an opponent that can do that. It can't be a boat race when only one team has a boat.
The Giants put up 29 in Seattle last week, and they fumbled on the inch-yard line, which was returned for 6, which probably should have been 7 more points.
Go ahead. I mean, I don't trust this Giants offense nearly enough to think that they can cover this number. If they can, sure. Okay, I've been wrong before. Be wrong again. I just don't have any faith in New York. So that's why I'm taking the Bengals.
If the Giants lose this game or win this game, Geoff, is T. Higgins playing for the Jets on Monday Night Football?
That'll be interesting to track if the Bengals drop another one. Maybe the Chiefs.
That makes the most logical sense, that the Higgins to the Chiefs or Amari Cooper to the Chiefs.
And honestly, if you're the Chiefs
or the Vikings, the Vikings could use another receiver.
They most definitely do not need another receiver. They have enough receiving.
The Chiefs desperately will need to use those draft picks to supplement an expensive star-studded roster with cheap talent. But they're at a point in the program where you're chasing 3 freaking in a row. You have total equity to give up the picks, and you've already won them. It's house money. I know you want to keep it rolling forever, and they probably will with Mahomes anyway, but I'd absolutely give up something to get like a Higgins in there if I was Casey.
I mean, New Orleans defense isn't bad. Maybe Juju's just the Juju from 7 years ago.
Yeah, maybe. That's fine.
Or maybe all these other guys weren't actually good, and it was just Mahomes. Like, maybe Rashee Rice isn't good, but he just had Patrick Mahomes throwing to him.
You need bodies, though. Like, it's when it comes down to it, you need bodies. You need a lot of options. A lot of the defensive fronts you play will not allow you to, like, bleed the game like they were able to do against the Saints. So you need as many weapons as possible. You're going for a three-peat. House money. Go get it. Go get it.
Super locks of the week. I'm going to take Tampa -2.5.
Detroit
-3.5.
Bully myself into taking the Jets, but not really what I like the most. But I will take the Jets anyway.
It seems like you like the Bengals the most.
No, I like the Ravens the most, but I like the Bengals a lot too. But I will take the Jets because I got to be all in. I got to be all in.
You don't have to be all in.
I do. I mean, I'm already all in, so I mean, I might as well leave nothing behind. If the coach, if they have enough confidence in the franchise to fire their coach today, I have enough confidence to put all my emotional energy in them. Please don't let me down. Okay, don't let me down. Please don't make me come back here on Tuesday and have to deal with the fact. No, the game's Monday night, so I won't have to worry about it on Sunday Night Football. Don't make me come on this show next week, a day after having lost the most hinge game they played in the last 10 years and make me have to be here brokenhearted and describe everything we've done for that quarterback and for that offense and that we didn't get it done. Don't put me in that position. Win, and it'll be lots of fun.
Your free money, 6.5 point for unknown reason teaser, is Philadelphia -2, Houston -0.5, Baltimore pick'em, and the Jets +9.
That's it.
Does that even pay 2-1?
A little better than that. Plus 230.
Plus 230? And what if it was a 6-point teaser? What would it be?
Plus. I don't know. Hold on here. No, my computer's acting all weird. I don't know. Like plus 250 or something.
Are you guessing on that, or is that actually what it is? Because that sounds like a pure guess on your part.
No, I saw it earlier. Hold on. Don't yell at me.
No one was yelling at you. People were just
plus 260.
There you go. So you can have an extra 30 cents for a half point on this, which the half point really doesn't do.
6-point teases have been bad luck.
Oh, it's bad luck.
The
So you're going to
7-point
give up the 30
teases have
points.
been bad luck. So like maybe 6.5 is good luck.
Do you think if I asked Pizzola about this on the Best Bet show, Geoff, that he's going to say that's a good strategy?
No, absolutely not. I'm not saying it's a good
You're
strategy.
not Geoff. You don't even know what your name is anymore. I'm pretty
almost
sure your name isn't
considered-
Geoff. It is Tim Undergust.
Tim and August.
That's not my name. I almost considered Monopoly style just forfeiting the free money this week. But the people need it. If for no other reason than to fade it.
I think you should make one of those like Trent bets, like TikToks about how the mortgage goes on the Jets this week or something.
No.
The wifey's mad at you. There's Halloween decorations.
After
it costs
that
you
one
a fortune.
No, after that one experience where that crazy person told me they put their rent on a free money hockey pick that I had talked about, I will never do that again.
Well, if you're truly all in, you'd be doing it right now. And you can come to my house with an envelope full of money of how much you want to bet, and I will put the money down for you.
No, I'm emotionally invested. And like all my credit is invested in this. Just give me this win. Just give it to me.
You think all your credit is invested in the Jets winning a Week 6 Monday Night Football game?
I will be in great spirits on this show next week if I get that win. I'll be wagging a lot of fingers, and I'll be demanding a lot of credit. And I'll be demanding it on behalf of Woody and on behalf of the whole franchise that they win.
Paul?
As a fan of a team that actually has won games in the last decade, I did find it sad that he said that this was like the biggest game of the last decade.
It is. There's no question about it, though. Like, I'm not even being hyperbolic. It is the biggest game of the last decade, pretty much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I'm not going to lose any sleep if the Bills lose. I'll be upset, but it's like not It's not that pivotal. It matters.
It's
but not
pivotal
that
for me.
much.
It matters. It's real to me.
Jared?
Long-time listener, first-time speaker, Tim. I just want to know, you demand credit if they get the win. If they get a loss, will you apologize to Coach McDermott, who has won the division 5 straight years and made the AFC Championship game?
I mean, well, to correct you first, they won it 4 straight times, not 5 straight times. And secondly, no, I have no apologies. There's no apology tour here. This is like the Mitt Romney book. No apologies. I'm not apologizing for anything here.
You should see the binder full of women quotes that I have, Geoff, about Tim.
Look, I just really want this win. Let me have it. Last year on Monday night, we won. It was one of the greatest wins of my Jets fandom, given the circumstances. It was a moment of pure joy. And winning this game next week, seeing Aaron smiling and high-fiving people on the sidelines, and seeing Woody up in the booth excited, and then Buck and Aikman talking about how the Jets really rolled the dice here by firing Robert Saleh, and it all paid off.
Paid off because they're 3-3.
They're now leading the AFC East. They're and they've got the easiest path forward, and they become the favorites again.
Geoff, if they win this Monday night game and we do the rest of the schedule, do you think Tim will have them winning every other game?
A lot of them, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll have to save that for Tuesday, though. Let them win it first, which I think is very much in play.
It's a 2.5 point spread. Of course it's in play.
Yeah.
Even if they win, I don't think you'll see Aaron Rodgers like high-fiving and smiling.
Oh, I think he will.
This will be great. He'll be trying to sell them like drugs or healing crystals or something.
No. This will be seen as quite a victory for him and quite an affirmation for the team that they're building around him.
Are you out if he throws like 4 picks and they get blown out?
I'll have my opinions, but I won't get upset over I won't become completely despondent, but I won't be happy. I'll be disappointed. He'll have let me down. He'll have disappointed me if that happens.
He hasn't let you down yet?
Not yet. I don't feel
Sucks.
completely disappointed. No, I'm fine still.
Mhm.
I don't feel that way.
Till same bat channel next week, they'll let down.
Well, then maybe, yeah. And then we got to we're right back on prime time because all of our games the Jets don't play any 2:00 games anymore. So we're back on prime time again.
Against the Colts?
The Steelers next week.
Oh,
then I think the
Steelers.
Colts in 2 weeks, and then the Texans. I think we have 1 2:00 game in the first between now and then November.
There's a hockey team in Utah, Geoff.
Yeah,
Yes, the hockey club. Paul was telling me about them last Monday because I said
they moved from Arizona.
That sounds like fun. Oh, Arizona doesn't have their team anymore. They don't play in like that minor league hockey rink?
Apparently not. No, they play at the Jazz Arena.
They're in Utah now.
Salt Lake City seems like a place where there should be an NHL team.
Yeah, there is, and I'm sure it'll do great.
Are you sure? You want to bet on that? Are you as confident
No.
in the Utah hockey team doing great as Tim is in the Jets on Monday night?
I'm not even confident. I've told you I thought they could get blown out. I'm just
They're your
deciding to
super
put
lock. You put them on a teaser. You've
Because I've
attached your.
decided my
It sounds like you've attached your emotional well-being to their winning.
a lot of my happiness, sports. Well, all my happiness, sports-wise, will basically hinge on them winning. Yeah, my baseball picks are doing well, so I have something to fall back on.
And you won't go to McDonald's Monopoly and play it for unknown reasons still.
Well, I mean, I explained my reason.
You didn't explain your reason. What was your reason?
It would be better for me not to play.
Why?
Yeah, no,
I don't. But why though? Why would it be better for you not to play?
He won't be tempted for 2-a-days. It
that's it.
consumes him. He's not.
No,
even talking
Geoff.
about,
Jeff, shut up.
Yeah, but
Tim,
you're talking about calories. This doesn't have to do with calories.
Then what does it have to do with?
Talking about?
Then let him tell it instead of these weird vague terms. Why is it that you're not playing?
As Geoff was describing, to avoid the 2-a-days, the obsessiveness with it, it's just not healthy.
What you're doing in lieu of all this isn't healthy. We just went over that.
It's not about the calories.
It seems
To him.
Well, it is in part, but that's not the
This
principal
is
reason.
fucking
Principal reason-
insane.
No, it's not.
It's very insane.
I do want to underline before we get out of here. I believe it was on last week's Best Bet show. Cam and Rob both agreed that Geoff was indeed more insane and the craziest person. Did you catch that line, Geoff?
Get out of town.
Did you catch that line? I'm just saying, like,
No, whatever.
sounds like we've been endorsed.
Rob
by
has
Kim
to.
and,
Rob has to keep me insane to like.
For his
So
show.
anytime any of his like friends be like, "What's up with him?" He can just default be like, "I don't know. He's insane."
Also,
So it's like it's best for Rob's business to play with that.
additionally, Tim, you have been begging for Cam to be on the ballot because you said that he would win most insane if he was on.
No,
it.
I just think he would.
No,
draw enough
that's
votes away.
what you said. Now you're changing your tune because you know what I'm going to say. Why would I take the opinion of an insane person? According to you.
I think that all the people who participate on the shows on a routine basis should be on the ballot.
I might need to run here due to a childcare emergency, but it's not that important where I don't want to stress. I saw Paul make a comment, which was fair, but I think there was a misunderstanding.
Was it balanced?
Because when he retold it, he was like still appalled that I asked him for his chair in Montreal.
I was right there. Paul told that story the way it was.
Story.
I was right there. I watched it happen.
Yeah, but I didn't
Get out of the seat, Paul.
Stop it. I said Paul must have not heard this part, and it would still be free for him to say no. I don't want a chair. Okay, you've seen me. I put my steps in. I don't want to sit down. But it was a red zone possession, and I was just like
Having a heart attack.
I was just like, Paul, can I just sit like
in your chair?
in
Can I
just
have
for
your
the,
chair?
like 3 plays?
You stand
Like,
up
I don't know.
and give
It's
me
not
your
like
seat.
that's all. I wasn't asking for his chair for the.
You
for
should have
the
sat
whole
my
What
lap.
you
game
said
or
was,
anything.
Paul, do you mind? Would you mind? And you said it politely, but would you mind if I like could sit in that chair, please?
No,
That's
but I
what you said.
specified for the
No,
drive.
you in your mind, you may have believed that. And I believe
Okay, so
you
if
believe that.
I didn't say that, then I get why Paul would be like, "What the fuck?"
That's why we both laughed because, like, you were like,
Okay,
"Can I have your
sorry.
chair, please?"
I just wanted the chair for like 3 plays just to sit.
I believe you. I
I
believe
have
you
no
only wanted it for that.
intention. Like when I get to my buddy's house on Sunday, even if I'm there first and I get first pick of seats, I don't even pick the good seat. I'll take a computer chair in the second row just so I can like get the fuck up and have my wandering space.
I wasn't.
But I
offended.
have a childcare emergency. My wife might just freak out on me. So I gotta go.
You had to make it clear to Paul that you were not stealing his seat first, though.
Yeah.
Even though you were.
I love you guys.
All right, that was Geoff Fienberg at GFienberg17. Tim was on the line. Jared and Paul behind the cameras. And, of course, a big thank you to me and our good friends at Underdog. Code Mayo at Underdog right now. You can go DK Metcalf, Jordan Mason, higher than yardage on both. And if you're a first-time player, you can use that Brock Purdy free square if you use code Mayo right now. So why not get in on it and win a nice 6-1, all right, on Underdog. I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Welcome to the Pat Mayo. Oh, what the fuck was that?
Sorry. Just trying to clear my throat one last time before we started, and then just a second early or late. Sorry.
Don't cut any of this out. Run this right from the top.
It's fine.
Experience!